Hello, and welcome to Tape 1. Before we introduce the techniques we use to train in Thai boxing, I'd like to first give you some background on Thailand. Located in Southeast Asia, it was established in 1238 AD. Although invasions have been attempted throughout its history, Thailand has remained independent, in part due to the training methods of the Chupasart warriors, which taught the use of swords, knives, sticks, spears, muskets, and hand-to-hand combat. By 1350, the Chupasart methods had evolved into the art of grabing gerbang, which is a sword and staff fighting art. Because of the dangers associated with these weapons, Muay Thai boxing was developed. To this day, it remains the national sport of Thailand. In the late 1970s, returning U.S. servicemen brought this fighting art to the United States. Today, one of the leading proponents of Muay Thai in the United States is Vut Kamnark. Vut began his training at the age of 8. And after many years of hard training and competition, he became the champion of Northeast Thailand. He has a bachelor's degree in physical education and currently is a Muay Thai instructor in Los Angeles. He also gives seminars around the country and is involved in promoting Muay Thai matches. He is currently the president of the United World Muay Thai Association and will be your instructor for this series of tapes. I'm going to start with showing you the Y crew. The Y crew is a way of showing respect for your teachers, instructors, family, and everyone else important in your life. It also helps ensure good fortune in the ring. It consists of bowing 3 times, and then holding the bow for about a minute, and then bowing 3 more times. It's done before a fight. After I do the Y crew, I'll perform the Rum Y, which is a dance-like exercise that shows respect for the camp that you've trained in. Each camp has its own Rum Y. It also helps you loosen up before a fight. This is the Y crew. It's always done in either an eastern or a northerly direction, never south or west. This is done for good luck because that's where the sun will rise. Now I'm holding the bow for up to a minute. During this period, I pray for good luck in the ring so that I can beat my opponent. 3 more bows, and then I start the Rum Y. This is also done to the east or north. Each camp has its own Rum Y. They're developed over the years and are very individual. It's very dance-like. I'm trying to get into the rhythm of the music, to relax, prepare myself for the fight. Music is very important in the Thai fighting. Now I'm paying respect to each side of the ring. This is also to ensure good luck in the ring. And after I pay respect to the ring, I'll pay respect to my opponent, and then we'll be ready to fight. We're now going to start with some basic conditioning and stretching techniques used in Muay Thai. First, I want to make clear that all your joints have to be loose. It's very important that you're not tight. The first joints we'll work on are the wrists. Flop them around, just like this, make sure they're loose. Then we'll move on to the shoulders. Make big circles going forward, and then reverse it. Nice, big, loose circles. Now smaller circles with your hands on your shoulders. Back and forth. If you put your hand on the shoulder and press a little, it helps loosen the joint up. Make sure you do both sides. Now we'll work on the elbow. Again, just make sure it's loose, manipulate it with the other hand and shake it out. Just like this. Now we'll work on the neck. Rotate it around, make sure you keep your eyes open, and go in both directions. We're going to work on the jaw now. Press up with your hands and press down with your head. Next, the waist.
กับหมุน
Go in a circle in one direction and then the other.
ครับเสร็จแล้วก็อาจจะเป็นเท้าชิดกัน
Now we're going to work on the back and legs. Bend over and touch your toes.
โยกนะครับโยกวอร์มหลัง
This will work both the back and the hamstrings. Then we're going to cross one leg in front of the other
ขวาทับขาซ้ายก้ม
and touch our toes again.
แล้วก็ขา
And now we'll cross the other leg.
ขาขวาแตะครับหลังจากนั้นจะวอร์มกระดูกส่วนนี้นะฮะส่วนนี้ของส่วนของ
Now we're going to work on the hip joint.
จะเป็นกระดูกข้อต่อตรงนี้
Going to stand on one leg and make a circle with the other, and then go in the other direction.
ครับหมุนซ้ายหมุนขวา
And of course, now we'll do the other leg.
ขวาแล้วมาเป็นกระดูกที่ข้อต่อตรงนี้
Now we want to make sure our ankles are nice and loose. Ankle's a very complex joint. You want to shake it out,
หมุนสองข้างหรือจะหมุน
and then stand on it a little and twist your foot.
กับพื้นโอเคแล้วก็จะเป็นหัวเข่า
Next, the knees.
จะโยก
Knee is very important in the Muay Thai kick. Go back and forth, and then make circles in both directions.
เข้าหมุนออก
Help keep your balance with your hands on your knees.
เห็นนะครับเสร็จแล้วเราจะอาจจะแยก
Next, we're going to work on the lower back and the legs also. Just bend over, and if you can touch the ground, great.
ครับเสร็จแล้วอาจจะมือขึ้น
Now we're going to stretch out the ribs and the back.
เอียง
This stretches the muscle on the side of the back, the lat.
กล้ามเนื้อส่วนนี้ของเราหมุนและอาจจะเป็นนั่งนะครับนั่ง
Now we're going to stretch the groin. Sit down, grab your toes, and bring your head forward towards your toes.
โยก
It also stretches your lower back a little.
ครับโยกนี่มอวอร์มของหลังของเราเองเสร็จแล้วเท้า
Now grab your toes. We're going to work on the back of the knees here.
ดึงเข้ามานะครับ
It also stretches the hamstrings.
แล้วก็อาจจะเป็นขาขวาทับขา
This
ซ้าย
works on the legs and the
ซ้าย
knees.
ดึงที่เท้าซ้ายมือขวา
Grab the
กด
toe
ไป
and press down on the knee.
โยกนี่ทำให้กล้ามเนื้อส่วนนี้
It helps stretch the inside of the leg and the back of the
โย
knee.
กแล้วก็
Now we'll switch, do the other leg.
ดึงต่อไปนี้เราต้องวอร์มส่วนนี้นะส่วนหลังเรา
Now we're going to work on the small of the back. To do this, lay down on your belly.
เท้าออก
Make sure your pelvis stays in contact with the ground.
แล้วก็อาจจะเป็น
Then slide one leg up and then the other.
ดึงนะครับให้วอร์มส่วนหลังตรงนี้ให้เราพร้อมด้วยก่อน
It's very good for the small of the back. It's important in our kicks.
เราพร้อมแล้วเราอาจจะวอร์มเลยหรือถ้าเรามีพาร์ทเนอร์
Alright, now you should have all your joints nice and loose. The next thing we're going to move on to is to warm up your body, get the heart pumping, the muscles warm.
ที่เราต้องวอร์มให้ร่างกาย
The first thing we'll do to do this are some jumping jacks.
ยืนด้วยปลายเท้าตัวเองกระโดดตบ
Nice and loose, warm up the whole body.
พร้อมแล้วก็หยุดอาจจะเป็น
Now we'll run in place a little bit.
ปลายเท้าขึ้นมา
Stay on the toes, bring the knees up a little,
วิ่ง
move the arms.
ให้เราพร้อมเสร็จแล้วเราอาจจะ
I'm doing an abbreviated version of all of these. You should spend up to 5 minutes on each one.
อาจยกมือขึ้นกระโดดขึ้น
Now we're going to work on the knees, bring them up high.
เข่าตรงขึ้นมา
This helps your rhythm and will strengthen your back and ankles. Make circles.
จะโค้งหรืออาจจะวิ่งแล้วกระโดดเท้าตัวเอง
Now we're going to kick the back of the hands.
นะครับอาจจะวิ่งหมุนอยู่กับที่
Really want to warm up. Make sure all your muscles are warm.
หรือเราอาจจะ
Now hop on your toes from side to side.
หรือ
Back and forth. Now we're going to do some squat jumps. This will make your legs strong.
ความตัวเองนะหรือเราอาจจะแยกเท้าออก
Stretch out a little, get your balance, and now really jump high.
หรือเราจะทำวัน
We're going to try to touch our toes when we jump up.
หนึ่ง
It's not as easy as it looks.
กระโดดหนึ่งสอง
This will make your legs and your ankles strong.
นะครับนี่สำหรับวอร์มอัพตัวเองทีนี้ถ้าเรามี
Stretching, loosening, and warming up your muscles and joints is essential to Muay Thai.
ที่จะทำให้ร่าง
You
กาย
should never work out
ทำให้
without doing so
เราพร้อม
first.
อาจจะมีคู่ดังนี้นะครับหลังจากที่เรา
Now I'm going to show you how to jump rope. This is very important for Muay Thai.
แล้วก็ใส่
Helps make your legs and ankles strong.
อันดับแรกที่เราจะ
The rope is a very important tool to use. Helps you get your rhythm and timing developed. It's also a great cardiovascular workout. You want to make sure your ankles are strong for Muay Thai. It's a very important joint. Make sure you're loose and relaxed before you jump rope. If you haven't jumped rope before, be patient. It will take some time before you develop the skill, but it's a good one to have. Jumping rope is a great cardiovascular workout. Now, it's very important to be relaxed. If you're tight, you really won't be able to jump the rope very well. While jumping rope, stay on your toes. It's going to make it possible for you to develop your leg muscles. Make sure you're loose. Stay relaxed. You can maybe hum or sing a song while you do it. That'll help you be in rhythm. Don't have your arms in tight. Stay on your toes. Shift your weight from foot to foot. Don't get frustrated. It's not easy at first. When you get a little better, try jumping on one leg, then the other. But first you have to get the basics down. Then you can run in place, jump side to side, mix it up. We jump the rope for 3 3-minute rounds as a minimum, with a 1-minute break in between. It's important that you use a clock. Vary your pace. Go fast, go slow. Get your knees up high. Make sure you stay on your toes, even if you're jumping on one foot. No matter what you do, run, jump in place, hop, it's important that you finish strong. I'm making it look easy, but it's not as easy as it looks. Now we'll do some road work. Here I'm running with weights in my hands. This will develop my upper body while I run. If you can, run in the morning. Long distance running is good. If you're training for a fight, however, you will want to run shorter distances at a quicker pace. Do this starting 2 to 3 weeks before your fight. If you're running with hand weights, at the end of your run, stop and shadow box a little. This will make your arms strong. Now I'm going to show you how to make your stomach and legs strong. These are important muscles to have for Muay Thai. What we're going to do is lie on our back and flutter our legs up and down, beating on the stomach at the same time. This will make your stomach strong and also your legs. Now scissor your legs. Then pull your legs in and push them out. In and out. And then you can stretch like this in case you've gotten too tight while making your muscles strong. Now we're going to do more of a traditional sit-up. Now for the upper stomach, we're going to do some crunches. I'm abbreviating everything here just like before. You should spend more time on each of these. Now we'll do some push-ups. They make your shoulders and hands strong. Make sure you go all the way up and down. There's another variation you can do where you drop your pelvis and do quick push-ups. This will give you explosive strength. Once again, make sure you go all the way down. Don't go part way down. All the way down and up.
อย่างนี้หรือ
Now we're
ที่เรา
gonna
จะ
work on
ทำ
the
ให้
neck.
คอที่เราแข็งแรงเราก็นอนหงาย
Lie on
น
your
อนหงาย
back
ยกคอขึ้นมา
and raise your head up.
ยกคอขึ้นมา
It's good to hold it a little bit.
ทำอย่างนี้นะฮะ
Now, it's important to have a strong neck in Muay Thai, not only to be able to take a punch, but when you clench
แล้ว
and your opponent tries to knee you, he's going to pull down on your head, so you need to have a strong neck. That's why we try to, in various ways, make the neck muscles strong.
อาจจะฝึกขาฝึกลำ
If your legs, stomach, and the rest of your body aren't strong in Muay Thai, you're going to get hurt. That's why we spend so much time on conditioning our body. We've covered everything that you can do by yourself. Now, if you have a partner, there are some additional techniques that I want to show you. One of my students will be helping me do this. His name is Walter, and he's going to help me show you these.
ชื่อ Walter ทีนี้เราจะฝึกให้
Now, if your arms, chest,
นะครับ
neck, shoulders,
เกร็งกล้ามเนื้อ
and legs aren't strong enough,
ถ้าเรา
when you get in a
ไม่เกร็ง
clinch,
หรือไม่ฝึกแล้วเนี่
you can get knocked out by your opponent's
เวลา
knee.
แล้วเขาจับตีเข่าต่างๆ
I'm going to show you a way to make yourself strong,
แข็งแรง
so this won't happen.
แข็งแรงฝึกอย่างนี้นะครับตัวอย่าง
What you do is have your partner
ให้เขากด
press
ลง
down while you press up.
ให้เขากดลงแล้วผมดันขึ้นอย่างนี้ หรือให้ผมกดลง
Now you're going to
ดัน
switch.
ขึ้นแล้วเกร็งหัวไหล่นะครับต้องเกร็งหัวไหล่
This makes your upper body
อันที่สอง
strong.
อาจจะเป็นเข้ากับออกนะครับ
Now we're going to
เข้า
go
ออกอย่างนี้
from inside to out.
นะครับได้แข็งแรงทีนี้
Then we'll
ก็
switch
ให้
again.
เขาดึงออกเขาดันเข้านะครับเกร็งหัวไหล่
These are
ครับ
isometric
เสร็จแล้วอา
exercises.
จจะฝึกเอามือชนกันแล้วดึงเท้าซ้ายอยู่
For this
ข้าง
one,
หน้า
keep your arms straight and press against each other with your lead leg in the front.
แข็งตึงแล้วเปลี่ยนข้าง
Then switch.
ข้าง หรืออาจจะ
Now we're going to go back and forth.
นะฮะ
More of a dynamic exercise.
กางเกงหัวไหล่นะฮะ
All of these
กางเกงหัวไหล่
drills are going to make your upper body stronger.
โอเคนะครับ หรืออาจจะใช้
Now I'll show you something to make your fingers
ก
strong.
ดกันอย่างนี้แล้วก็กดนะฮะ
Press against each other, just like before, only this time touching fingertips.
แข็งตึงโอเคนะครับ ต่อไปก็คืออาจจะทำให้ขา
Now I'm going to show you something to make your legs
อัน
strong.
ดับแรกก็คือแบกคู่ต่อสู้
What you're going to do is carry your partner on your back and do squats.
ครับตัวอย่างผมฝึกกับวอเตอร์
Now don't try too hard. Relax your back while doing this. That'll help you keep your
ผม
balance.
จะยกขึ้นกระดานลง
Up and down.
คนที่นอนนะฮะคนที่นอน ก็
Now
ต้อง
be careful not to lean back too much. You're going to fall over.
บุกหลัง
You hurt your back if you do that.
เพื่อจะให้
This will make your legs strong and works on your balance at the same
สำห
time.
รับขาทีนี้ถ้าฝึกสำหรับ
Now here's another one for your
คู่ต่อสู้อย่างนี้
legs.
นะครับ
Stand on your toes while you do
ดึงไป
this.
เท้าตัวเอง
Put your arms on your partner's, and he's going to have his on yours, and just go up and down. By holding each other, you can help keep your
ครับ
balance.
นี่ทำให้ขาแข็งแรง
By being on your toes, you're going to make your calves strong, all of your legs strong actually.
เราอาจจะให้เขานอนลง
Now this next one is for your stomach.
นอนลง lie down โอเคที่จะฝึกตรงนี้ให้แข็งแรง
Your partner's going to raise his legs and you push him straight out.
กดเท้าเขาลงไป อย่าให้เท้าถึงพื้น อาจจะเป็นซ้าย
Side to side also. That works the obliques.
อาจจะตรงๆนะครับอาจจะตรงๆอย่างนี้ซ้ายขวา
And again, we're abbreviating everything.
ตรง
It's good to work in 3-minute rounds if you have a clock. This drill works the stomach very well, one of the best ones you can
หรื
do
อ
for
อ
it.
ยากให้กล้ามท้องแข็งแรงมากขึ้น ถ้าเราฝึกให้เขาชก
Next, we're going to do a push-up. It's a very good one for the chest and shoulders, and back.
อย่างนี้ฝึกให้แขนด้วยหน้าอกด้วยก็จ้ำครับขึ้นอาจจะไปซ้าย
Make sure your partner moves and doesn't stay in one spot.
นะฮะอาจจะไปข้างหน้า
This is much harder than a regular push-up.
ไปข้างหลังโอเคนะครับอันนี้ทำให้ตรงหน้าอก
It really works the shoulders
ตรงหลังเขาแข็งแรง
and the lower
ด้วย
back.
หรืออาจอย่างหนึ่งถ้าต้องการให้ท้องเขาแข็งแรงมากขึ้น
Now, this one might hurt a little at first. While your partner does a sit-up, you're going to stand on his stomach with very light pressure.
คุณอาจจะ เหยียบ
Just a little bit extra to make it harder for him to do it.
นะฮะกดเพื่อให้เขาชินหรืออาจจะ
Instead of standing, you can hit him in the stomach, but not too hard. This just makes the stomach muscles harder while he's sitting up.
โอเคครับอันนี้สำหรับ
Having a partner to train with allows you to make your stomach harder in a faster period of time. These lifts also work your legs at the same
ที
time.
นี้ต้องการให้
Now the next thing we're going to work on is the neck.
ตรงนี้นะคอ
These techniques are going to show you how to make your neck strong, which is important for clinching,
แรงเราอาจจะ
which you'll get to later on.
ได้เราฝึกอย่างนี้นะครับ
Now you're going to make your neck tight while your partner pushes.
โอเค
Stand face to face,
Stay that side.
squat down a little,
Put your neck up to me. Put your neck up.
and push on the forehead.
Neck up.
See how Walter pushes his head forward?
Up. โอเคหรืออาจจะ
Now to make the other side of your neck strong, you're going to pull your head back
อ่าฮะ
while your partner pulls forward.
ใช่เลยแต่อันนี้
Stand on your toes while you do this. Makes it harder for your opponent to pull you into his knee.
ต่อไปนี้ถ้าเรา
All this makes the neck strong.
แล้ววอร์มอัพกับตัวเองแล้ว
We've done all the conditioning we can do on our own and with the partner. What we'll move on to next is working out with weights. If you have access to weights, it's important that you use them. You'll get much stronger, much faster if you do so. The first exercise is for the quadriceps. It's called a leg extension. It's going to make the quadriceps stronger and the knee. It's important that you have strong quadriceps in Muay Thai. If you don't, then you can't kick strong. By using the weight, you're going to make your legs stronger, faster, and also make your knees stronger so you won't get hurt. See how my leg sticks out? Just extend it right out. Put your hands on the bench behind you, or if you can, punch at the same time. Also notice my stomach. This is a very good exercise for the legs.
นะครับตอนนี้เราจะฝึกส่วนนี้ให้แข็งแรงส่วนด้านหลังขา
Now we're going to work on the back of the leg, the calf and the hamstring.
ให้นอนลงนะฮะเราฝึกส่วน
Lay
นี้
on your stomach,
ส่วนนี้
put your ankles behind the pad, and curl it towards your body. It's better to work with lighter weights in a quicker repetition than heavy weights slowly. It's going to help the ankles also, and the calves and the hamstring.
นะครับเราฝึกส่วนนี้ของขาให้แข็งแรงนะฮะ
Hamstring's very important to be strong.
โอเคนะครับถ้าเรามีเครื่อง
Next, we'll do squats with a weight on our back.
เราจะทำให้
This is going to make your calf strong and your ankle strong also,
แข็งแรงหัวเข่า
and also the knees and the quadriceps.
ใส่หลังเรานะฮะ
Now you want to place the weight on your shoulders and squat up and down. Stand on your toes while you do this. It's going to make it all your muscles stronger.
ขึ้นลงดูนะครับ
Don't use too much weight. It's more important to use a lighter weight and do more repetitions than a heavy weight and fewer repetitions.
นะครับ
Stand on your toes
ขึ้น
and don't be slow.
ขึ้นลง
That's it.
ขึ้น
Extend all the way up and stand on your
ขึ้น
toes.
ลงยืนด้วยปลายเท้าตัวเองนะครับยืนด้วยปลายเท้าตัวเองฮึบฮึบฮึบ
By having strong legs, you're going to have strong kicks.
เห็นไหมครับถ้าเราฝึกอย่างนี้แล้วเนี่ยข้อเท้าหัวเข่าหน้าขาเราจะยืนเต็มเท้าตลอดเวลานะครับ
You can even do it without the weight and just stand on your toes and do
ทำให้เรา
squats.
เตะเร็วขึ้น มีน้ำหนักมากขึ้นฉะนั้น
But to get the quickest development, you want to use the machines. Use the weights, make your legs strong.
เกินแข็งแรง
By having a stronger body, you're going to be a better fighter.
วัดกำลังแข็งแรง เราจะเป็นนักมวยไทยที่เก่งและก็ดีครับ โอเคนะครับ ถ้าเรามีแม่คีน
This machine
อยู่ที่บ้าน
will help develop your biceps and your chest.
อกและก็แขนเนี่ย
Now in Muay Thai,
อย่าให้
we don't want big muscles.
ไม่ต้องหนักนะฮะ
We want smaller muscles, and we develop those by using lighter
นัก
weights
มวยไทยส่วนใหญ่เนี่ย
and going quickly, and that allows you to punch quick. Big muscles will slow you down, so it's important not to overdevelop. Use light weights and many repetitions.
เราดูนะครับผมจะฝึกให้ดูนะครับ
When using the machine, don't be slow. Make the repetitions quick. If you have too much weight, you won't be able to do this.
รงนี้นะฮะ
I can't overemphasize enough how important it is not to have big muscles. Big muscles will make you slow. You can't be quick.
เวลาชกเขามันจะช้าอย่างนี้ถ้าเรา
You want to look cut, not too bulky.
และก็เบา
And the way to do that is by working out quickly with light weights.
เราจะดูสวยงามจะไม่ใหญ่เทอะทะ
To have strong punches, you need to have strong shoulders and biceps. And to get them, you can use this machine.
มีเท่านี้โอเคนะครับตอนนี้เราจะกลับมาดูที่
Next, we'll work on the
กล้าม
stomach.
เนื้อหน้าท้องของเรา
In Muay Thai, your whole body has to be strong.
ถ้าลำตัว
But if your stomach isn't strong,
กล้ามท้อง
a knee or kick will send you down.
จับตีเข่าเขาตีเข่าที่หน้าท้องเราหรือว่าเตะ
So the stomach is very
นั้น
important.
เราจะฝึกอย่างไร
The first exercise we'll do are incline
หน้า
sit-ups.
ท้องนะฮะเราจะฝึกโดยที่ไม่ขีดอย่างนี้นะฮะ
You need a bench like
เราจะ
this.
ฝึกอย่างนี้นะครับ
Strap your feet in above you
อันดับแรกเราจะฝึกธรรมดาตัวของเราเองนะฝึกของเรา
and do
เอ
a
ง
sit-up.
นะฮะฝึกของเราเองฝึกของเราเองอย่างนี้นะฮะเราเก่ง
See how strong my stomach looks?
เก่งเอาไว้เห็นไหมครับเก่งเอาไว้
An incline bench like this helps you a lot.
รีแลกซ์มีกล้ามเนื้อมากขึ้น
Keep your legs straight while doing these sit-ups. It'll allow you to do more of them.
ขึ้นมา
You can also turn from side to side, and that works the obliques more.
หรือ
Now, if you want to make your stomach even harder, you can have someone come in, and using a kick pad, they'll hit you in the stomach as you come
เราช
up.
อบการโดนตีนะดูนะครับ
This will give you a very hard stomach.
เห็นไหมครับถ้าเราฝึก
In addition to making your stomach hard, by being hit with the pad, you get used to being punched or kicked in the stomach, so it won't be such a surprise when someone does it to you.
ตัวนี้เราต้องแข็งแรงโอเคนะครับถ้าเรามี
Next, we'll do some leg raises.
ทีนี้เราจะฝึก
This is very good for the shoulders, for the stomach, and for the legs.
โดยที่เราจะใช้แมชชีนอันนี้
Make your stomach tight while you're on it.
เราจะใช้พร้อมกันเลยหนึ่งหัวไหล่แขนลำตัวแล้วก็ขา
Works all of these areas.
วางเท้ายืนให้เต็มที่ก่อนเสร็จแล้วก็
Get yourself in, raise yourself,
ยืนให้ตัวให้เห็นหัวไหล่นะลำตัว
make your stomach tight,
เท้าให้ชิดกันนะเท้าให้ชิดกันยกขึ้น
and bring your legs up.
ดึงเอาไว้ฮึบดึงเอาไว้ฮึบ
Don't be slow,
เห็นไหมครับ
be quick.
ขาเราต้องตึงแขนเราต้องตึงลำตัวเราก็ตึง
The higher the better.
เห็นไหมครับลำตัวเก่งๆตรงนี้นะฮะที่แข็งแรง
This really works the stomach. This is a good piece of equipment to use because it works out your shoulders, your stomach, and your legs all at the same time by going up and down like that.
ร่างกายสมส่วนแล้วก็แข็งแรง
We're now going to talk about Muay Thai
โอ
equipment.
เคนะครับหลังจากที่เรา
There are many specialized pieces of equipment that we
เรา
use.
ก็จะต้องมา
The first thing I want to talk about is Thai boxing liniment.
สำหรับมวยไทยนั้นอันดับแรกคือน้ำมันมวยเราเนี่ย
It's used to warm up the muscles prior to working out.
กล้ามเนื้อกระดูกของเรา
It also helps make them
ยังไม่
loose.
วอร์มให้พร้อมให้มันให้ตื่นตัวให้วอร์มโดยก่อนชาร์จนั้นควรเขย่า
Make sure you shake it up.
นะเขย่าขวดแล้วก็เปิด
Then pour some on your hand.
ทาที่เท้า
And rub it on your leg.
ต่างๆนวดให้มันพร้อมนะครับนวดให้มันพร้อมจะเป็นข้อ
Pay
เท้า
particular attention to the joints, both the ankle and knee.
ทำวอร์มให้พร้อม
Rub it on your thigh also.
เป็นโลอย่างนี้
Give yourself a little massage as you rub it in. You want to make sure your muscles are loose.
เข้าให้มันให้มัน
Don't be afraid to use too much liniment.
นะครับน้ำมันมวยจะดีสำหรับกล้ามเนื้อเราและกระดูกเรา อาจจะเป็นมันช้ำบางก่อนหรือเจ็บบางก่อนจะทำให้เรารู้สึกสดชื่นและดีขึ้น
Make sure you spend some time rubbing it in. Just don't pour it on.
ต้องทำให้สองข้างจะเป็นข้อเท้าข้อเท้ากล้ามเนื้อเราวอร์มให้พร้อมแล้วก็จะมาเป็น
You can also use it on the wrists.
อาจจะเป็นข้อมืออาจจะเป็นนิ้วมือวอร์มให้พร้อมใส่น้ำมันมวยเข้าไปเสร็จแล้วก็เก็บซะหลังจากนั้นแล้ว
It's also good for any other place you might be sore from a prior
กางเกง
workout.
มวยของไอ้มวยไทยเรานะฮะจะมี
Having the right shorts is very important for Muay Thai. You need big leg openings, light material, and a lot of elastic at the waist. The drawstring will make it snug.
แล้วก็ใส่เข้าไปนะฮะก่อนจะใส่เข้าไปนั้น
It's very important that you don't have heavy shorts. It'll hamper your kicks. Very important piece of equipment is the protective cup. This is a traditional one. It's metal with string to attach it to yourself.
กอยของเรานะฮะจะมีเป็นข้างในจะเป็นโฟมอยู่ให้มันนิ่ม
It's padded on the edges
ลูกโค้งการใส่นั้น
and on the face.
ง่ายๆดึงตรงนี้
It's got some strong strings. Allows you to tie it around the
ดู
waist
ให้ชัดว่าข้างในเป็นยังไงเป็นโฟมนะเป็นโฟมอยู่ข้างโค้ง
and through the back of the legs.
ดึงลงมาฮะคล้ายลงมา
You wear it under your shorts, of course.
ข้างหลัง
It's easier to have someone else tie it on for you, but
แล้วเราก็มาดึง
tie it around the waist and then take the two strings between the legs.
คล้ายผูกข้างหลังตรงนี้ผูกข้างหลังให้แน่นๆสลับกับจับคล้ายแน่นๆ
It's a very important piece of equipment. Always wear it when working out with a partner.
จับไว้ข้างนอกเฉยหลังจากนั้นแล้วนะฮะถ้าเราใส่กระจับข้างในแล้วเรียบร้อยเราก็อาจจะต่อไปนี้เราก็อาจจะต้องมี
Next, we'll talk about ankle supports.
ไอเกิลซัพพอร์ตนี้มันมีสองข้างนะฮะมีอยู่สองข้างข้างซ้ายข้างขวานะฮะ
It's important to wear these so that you don't hurt your ankle.
สำหรับจะใช้
Allows you to stand on the ball of your foot.
มันจะช่วยให้ไม่ให้ข้อเท้าเรามันเคลื่อนไม่ให้เราเจ็บมากนักใช้พยายามให้มัน
And it helps prevent injury.
นะฮะการใส่เส้นซัพพอร์ตนั้นเราพยายามดูที่ว่ามันเป็นข้างไหน
Make sure you get good ones.
ข้างเล็กสวมเข้าไปก่อนนะ
Now to put them on,
ก่อนอย่างนี้นะครับ
start with the small part,
ดึงแล้วก็
pull it on your foot, and then turn it inside out.
นะครับเช็คให้แน่นๆดูที่ว่าส้นเท้ามัน cover ไม้ถึงส้นเท้าเรา
Make sure it's snug and it doesn't have any folds in it.
นะครับแล้วก็เช็คดูมันไทยดีไหมอีกข้างหนึ่งนะครับ
Again, the small part first, and then turn it inside out.
ขึ้นมาเช็คดูนะฮะเสร็จแล้วเราพยายามเช็คข้อเท้าลูกมันตึงมากไหมมันอยู่ในรูปที่เราต้องใช้ได้
You should feel a difference when you put them
ดู
on.
นะฮะต่อจากนั้น
If you don't, they're too big.
ผ้าพันมือเป็นสิ่งสำคัญ
Now we'll talk about hand wraps.
นะฮะ
They're very important when you work out.
อาจจะมือข้อมือหัก
If you don't use hand wraps, it's possible to injure the knuckles
ตรงนี้อาจจะหัก
or the wrist.
ฉะนั้นเราต้องพันผ้าให้แน่นตรงนี้
It's important not to make the wraps too tight. If you do, it's possible that you'll cut off the circulation. If you feel your fingers getting numb, you've wrapped your hands too tight.
มันตึงมากเกินไป
But they should be snug so that they can give your hand support.
ผมจะโชว์การพันผ้าให้ดูสิ่งแรกเนี่ย
When we wrap the hand, we also make sure we include the thumb in addition to the wrist and knuckles. Start by holding the tail in your hand with your thumb and wrap around your knuckles.
ซ้อมไม่ใช่การชกตัวนี้
Do it several times.
แรกพันตรงข้อมือที่การ2-3เที่ยว
This makes a pad for your knuckles to protect them when you punch. Then move down to the wrist and make sure you go up high enough on the forearm so that you can support the wrist.
ซ้อมเสร็จแล้ว
Then work your way back down,
เอาข้าง
across
ล่าง
the wrist,
ดึงขึ้นมาข้างบน
and up between the fingers.
ดึงขึ้นมาข้างบนช้า
Back down the wrist again once more.
เวลาพันพยายาม
Flex your wrist to make sure it's not too tight,
ข้อมือตัวเองอย่าให้มันแน่นมากอย่าให้หลวมมากนะ
and come up between
3-4 รอบนะฮะ
the thumb and forefinger again on the pad.
แล้วก็ขึ้นมาข้างบนพยายามตรวจข้อมือเราอยากให้แน่นมากนะ
Squeeze your hand to make sure it's not too tight.
3-4 รอบ
Now we go between the middle finger and ring finger.
ว่าให้กระดูกข้อมือมันหักหรือมันแตกหรือมันเจ็บ
And back down to the wrist.
แล้ว
Then back up.
นิ้วมือตรงนี้เราต้องพันด้วย
And here's what we'll do the thumb.
นะฮะเราพันด้วยพยายาม cover หูด้วยมือตัวเองแล้วลงมา
Back down to the wrist.
ให้ดีๆนะฮะ
Up to the knuckles.
สำหรับพันผ้าด้วยตัวเอง
It's important that you have a long enough wrap to do
มี
this.
เทรนเนอร์พันให้หรือว่าเมเนเจอร์พันให้แล้วแต่เราเขาจะฝึกกัน
And tuck the very end
แล้วเรา
into
ก็
the
เข้า
palm.
ไปข้างในสำหรับ พันผ้าพันมือสำหรับซ้อมด้วยตัวเองผ้าพันมือไม่ใช่พันข้างเดียวนะต้องพันสองข้างนะฮะพันสองข้างนี่ข้างหนึ่งนี่โชว์พันในข้างหนึ่งก็เหมือนกันกับข้าง
Watch while I do the other hand.
ที่แล้ว
Hold the tail with the thumb as you go around the
อย่า
knuckles.
ให้มันไพมากนะอย่าให้มันแน่นมือเรามากนะ
Down to the wrist.
โอเคสัก3-4 รอบตรงข้อมือเรา
Up the forearm. Then back up to the knuckles again.
บน
Then between the fingers and around the wrist again. Back to the knuckles, between the other fingers.
ข้างที่แล้ว
Don't forget the thumb.
พยายามตรวจนิ้วมือตัวเองอย่าให้แน่น
The more you do this, the better you'll get at it. There aren't any hard and fast rules. Just make sure you cover all the areas.
สำหรับฝึกด้วยตัวเอง
What's important is that you support the whole hand without wrapping it too tightly to cut off circulation.
โอเคเสร็จแล้วนะฮะสำหรับผ้าพันมือที่เราจะฝึกด้วยตัวเอง หลังจากผ้าพันมือทานเรียบร้อยแล้วนะฮะทุกอย่างเรียบร้อยแล้ว
Now, once you've properly wrapped your
ที่
hands,
เราจะลงมือซ้อมหรือฝึกด้วยตัวเองเราต้องทำให้ร่างกายวอร์มให้พร้อมอีกทีก่อน
you're ready to work out. So stretch a little bit
ก
more.
ระดูกเราพร้อมไหมสำหรับข้อเท้าข้อมือตัวเอง
Shake everything out.
ว่าเราพร้อม
Relax.
ฝึก
Loosen up.
นะครับดูข้อเท้าอีกทีหัวเข่าอีกทีจอยตรงนี้อีกทีกระดูกหมุน
Do abbreviated versions of all the other stretches I showed you.
นะฮะไม่พร้อมเห็นแล้วเราก็
Now it's time to work out.
ได้เลยนะครับโอเคนะครับหลังจากที่เรา
Once you have all your equipment on,
เสร็จแล้ว
it's important that you warm up again.
เราฝึกวอร์มอัพเสร็จแล้ว
If you've already stretched and loosened your whole body up, now is time to do abbreviated versions of all those same stretches and warming up techniques. Once you've done that, you want to start out slowly and gradually increase your rate. Nice and slow, loose, and soft at first. Be relaxed, that's the most important thing. Don't be tight. Nice and loose. This goes for both your punching and your kicking. Loose, low kicks at first. And do the same with the knees. Bring them up loose and lightly, and elbows too. Just warming up. Now, in tape 2, footwork, hands, and elbow techniques will be covered. Then, in tape 3, we'll cover kicking and kneeing. In these subsequent tapes, we'll go in depth into these techniques, and you'll be working at a faster speed like this. More realistic. These are the techniques that you're going to learn. But for now, I want you to start slowly and loosen up. Wait till you see those tapes before you try these techniques. What we're going to move on to next is using some more equipment. Conditioning the shins, the legs, using the gloves. This is the small bag. We use it in training to develop our punches, push kicks, round kicks, and also the elbows. It's a very important piece of equipment to train with. If you have access to one or can put one up in your house, you'll develop your skills much quicker. When using it, be conscious of how the bag swings. Hit it as it swings towards you, not away. When you start to work with the small bag, start slow and light, and then work faster and quicker as time goes on. You want to develop your speed and power. If you have a bag in your home, school, or gym, you can use it to condition your shins.
ไปนี้สำหรับ
Now, when you train, you will be using the bag to learn how to kick on the leg. The long bag is essential to learn how to kick on the leg.
ข้างเลยแล้วฝึก
We're showing you the bag now just so that you know the proper piece of equipment that is used to condition the shins. And you're going to condition your shins by kicking the bag when you learn how to do so properly. There are some misconceptions about how Muay Thai fighters condition their shins. Some people think that they use sticks and hit their legs, or they take bottles and roll them up and down their shins. This is all false. The only way to condition the shin is by using it and kicking with the bag with it. In tape 3, you will learn how to do all of these kicks. For now, just watch. All right, we're now ready to talk about the various types of gloves that we use in Muay Thai. We use big gloves to spar with and to hit the pads with sometimes, and we also use smaller gloves called bag gloves. They have less padding and are lighter. They help condition the wrists and the knuckles because there isn't a lot of padding. Your hand wraps will protect your hand and support the wrist. Now when you put the bag gloves on, make sure they're on tight, and you're going to start to warm up with them. Like everything else, we want to be fast and loose. We're still warming up, just getting loose. Now we're going to use the bag gloves in conjunction with focus gloves or focus pads. You need a partner to use these. There's one for each hand. Make sure that you buckle it snugly to the wrist. If you don't, the focus glove could slip off and your partner could punch you in the wrist, or you could bend your wrist backwards and injure it that way. It's very important that you use this piece of equipment properly, or else you may result in getting injured. Now once again, make sure that when you start, you're loose and relaxed. When your partner puts the focus glove on, make sure he's got it on tight. He won't be able to do this himself because he's got a glove on each hand. So take it and pull it and make sure it doesn't slide off. Make sure the buckle is buckled all the way and the pin in the buckle is not sticking out. You want to be very careful when using any of this equipment to make sure that you or your partner does not get injured. Now when you punch, your partner should meet you with the focus glove. You shouldn't tap it. You should come right out and meet your punch. Now before you work out with your partner, you have to show respect for him. This is a part of the Thai culture. We're now going to start with the left side. We're going to use our jab, go slow and soft at first. Then you start with the right, the cross, also slow and soft. Move a little and relax.
ปั๊บปั๊บปั๊บ
Make sure you're loose.
ให้วอร์มตัวเอง
Now I'm going to start to go a little faster and harder.
อย่าให้ช้าปั๊บโอเคนะครับอันนี้สำหรับเป้ามือของเราที่เราใช้คนที่ถือเป้ามือ
Now you want to use your left hand to punch your partner's left focus glove and your right hand to punch his right hand. You're going to punch across your body.
วอเตอร์เขาจะมือซ้ายออกมานะครับต่อยขวา
Now when you hold the pads, don't be tight.
อย่าไปเก่งอย่างนี้แต่เขาจะชกเป้าไม่ได้ดูอีกครั้งนะครับต่อยปั๊บเขาจะออกมาปั๊บ
See how Walter meets me with the pads? That's what you want to do.
ครับต่อยผมต่อยแล้วเขาออกมาทันทีปั๊บปั๊บที่สำหรับเป้ามือโอเคนะครับหลังจากที่เราชกเป้าแล้ว
There is another piece of equipment that we sometimes use in conjunction with the focus gloves. This is called the belly protector. We use it both with the focus gloves and sometimes by itself. It's good for working on the push kick, the knee, and punching techniques. If you have access to one, then you'll be able to work on punches to the body also. When your partner puts it on, or when you help him put it on, make sure it's buckled snugly. You don't want it to come loose while you're using it. It's particularly good for developing a push kick in conjunction with punches. Make sure it's up high enough above the cup. And you'll kick it just like this once you learn how to push kick. We cover that in tape 3. You can work on your body punches just like this. We also use the belly protector to work on our knee techniques. Grab your partner by the neck and pull him down while kneeing to the stomach. Just like this. You'll learn this technique in greater detail in later tapes. Now when you use the focus gloves together with the belly protector, you can work on various combinations. You can start with the elbow and then go inside with the foot for a push kick, or punches, or knees. Now I'm ready to show you the Thai kick pads. We're going to use it with the belly protector right now. There's one kick pad for each arm. After buckling them on, you squeeze the handles. Make sure that it's buckled on snugly, just like the focus glove, and that the pin of the buckle isn't sticking out. When you hold the pad, don't hold it towards yourself, hold it away, out from your body. Let the weight of the pads pull your arm down. If you don't, you're going to make your forearms very tired. Now, there's many things we do with the kick pads. You can punch them, elbow them, kick them, and we knee them also. Start by jabbing it, then I throw the cross. Just like when I use the focus gloves, I punch across my body to the opposite side. Now, when I elbow the kick pads, I'll do the same thing. I'm not going to elbow the pad near me. I'm going to go across my body and hit the far pad. And once again, Walter meets me with the pad just like with the focus glove. He doesn't wait for me to hit the pad. You can also use the kick pads for the push kick. It's higher and a little harder than hitting the belly protector. Once again, I cross my body and go to the opposite side.
ถ้าถีบขวาต้องไปตรงข้ามหมายถึงว่าขวาของเขาขวาของเรานะครับดูนะครับถีบนะครับถีบถีบ
With my right leg, I do the same thing. We always go across the body to promote the turning of the body, so I get all of my body, all of my power into my punches and kicks. Now we're going to work on the round kick. Walter will hold both pads together and press down a little on them when I kick. Don't let them get separated. Keep them together. It's very important that you learn how to use the kick pads properly. We use them for kneeing also. I wrap my hands around my partner's neck. My partner holds the pads together. Not high. He might get kneed where he doesn't want to get kneed. He has them out in front. I pull down on the neck as I do it. And I can move him around and control him while I knee. Now I'll push kick and then round kick. Work on combinations here. Push kick to the belly and then round kick. To both sides. If you have a set of Thai pads and a belly protector, then that's a good start to a home gym. Hi and welcome to tape 2. In this tape we're going to work on footwork, hand and elbow techniques. Now from tape 1 you should already know how to wrap your hands. If you don't, go back and review it. It's important that you do it properly to protect your hands and wrists from injury. Now you should know about the Thai shorts from tape 1 also, and your cup, and your ankle supports. And as we did in tape 1, you want to stretch out and warm up. If you need to, review that tape again. Remember, you want to make sure all your joints are loose, your muscles are warm. It's important that you're not stiff. Be relaxed. Start with the shoulders, big circles. I'm just going to do a very abbreviated version of some of those stretches that we did in that first tape. Stretch your waist, bend over, your knees. It's also good to stretch out after you work out. Loosen up the ankle. Stretch your lat out, your ribs. Nice and slow. Make sure you're relaxed, you're not tight. That's the most important thing. Cross your legs, bend over. Shake everything out. Roll the neck around, flap your wrists. Now we're ready to start basic Muay Thai. We're going to start with the guard. You want to start with your feet approximately shoulder width apart. You don't want them too far apart, nor too close. And have your weight comfortably on the balls of your feet. Now if you're right-handed, you're going to bring your left foot forward. That'll be your lead. And if you're left-handed, reverse everything. You want to raise your weight on your back foot and open the ankle so you have your heel raised. Bring your hands up, your right hand in front of your right eyebrow, your left hand out in front of your face. Let's start again. Left foot forward, raise the right heel, and turn the foot out,
ขวานิดนึงถึง45 องศา
about 45 degrees.
ยกมือขึ้น
Raise the
มือ
hands
ซ้ายควรจะป้องกัน
and keep your chin behind your shoulder.
ไหล่ขวาขึ้นนะฮะมือขวา
Keep the right hand by the eyebrow in front of the face.
อย่างนี้นะครับ
Stay on the ball of the back foot.
ขวาอย่างนี้ครับเปิดส้นเท้าขวา
Here's how it looks from behind.
นะครับเปิดส้นเท้าขวา
See, I'm on the ball of the foot. My ankle is open here. I'm on the ball of the foot. When my heel is down, it's closed.
ยืนอยู่กับที่ก่อน
And rock back and forth, gently shifting your weight forward and backwards.
ยังไม่ฟุตเวิร์กอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Now one more time.
หนึ่งก้าวซ้ายตรงหมุน
Shoulder width apart, left foot forward.
นะครับ
On the ball of the back foot.
จะเป็นขนาดเท้าซ้ายซ้ายก้าวเท้าขวาข้างหน้าหนึ่งก้าวหมุนนิดหนึ่งนะ
Now if you're left-handed, everything is reversed.
ขวาขึ้นมือซ้าย
Right foot forward. On the ball of the left foot, turn it 45 degrees. Relax.
นะครับยืนธรรมดาอย่างนี้นะครับนี่สำหรับ
That's your basic Muay Thai on guard position.
แค่นี้นะครับโอเคการรับ
Okay, hands up. Now we'll work on footwork.
ขวานะครับเท้า
If you're right-handed, put your left foot in the front and rock back and forth. To go forward, move the front foot first.
เท้าหลังก้าวข้างหน้าโอเคหลัง
Just like this. To go backwards, same thing. Back foot first.
หน้านะฮะต่อไปซ้ายมือตัวซ้าย
To go left, move the left foot first, follow with the right. To go right, move the right foot first and follow with the left. Whichever direction you're going to go in, move that foot first.
ถ้าเรา move
When you move, you want to keep your chin down and keep your hands up. Protect yourself. You're more vulnerable when you're moving.
อย่าเก็บ
Keep the shoulder up.
ไว้มือขวายกขึ้นสูงมือซ้ายยกขึ้น
Chin down and hands up.
ก้าวตรงข้างหน้าหลัง
Go back, move the back foot first. Follow with the front.
นั้นให้เท้าไปข้างหน้า
Go forward, move the front foot first. Stay on the balls of the feet.
45 องศาตลอดเวลา4นะครับดูนะ45 องศาก้าวเก็บคางก้าวสเต็ปครับ
See how my students do it.
สเต็ปก้าวปึ๊บนะครับนะก้าวข้างหน้าพยายามก้าวแล้วพยายาม
When you're working with students, it's important that you correct them if they don't stay on the ball of their foot.
ครับก้าวเท้าหลังก่อนนะครับแล้วก็เท้าหน้าตาม
Got to keep that ankle
ไม่
open
สูงคิดไม่สูง
and be on the ball so you can move.
หน้านี่สำหรับฟุตเวิร์กมวยไทยแบบเบสิก
This is the basic footwork from Muay Thai.
ทีนี้เราจะฟุตเวิร์กให้เร็วขึ้น
Now I'll show you how to move a little faster.
ยืนในปลายเท้าตัวเอง
Still stay on the balls of your feet.
นะครับ
It's the same thing, only faster.
นะเวลาเราชกมวยก้าวเร็วขึ้นดูจังหวะให้ช้าเก็บคางลงช้าเก็บคางลงนะฮะพยายาม
Move in and out
ไหลตัวเองขึ้นเก็บคางล้มดักตัวไปข้างหน้าหน่อยนะครับดึงให้ช้าจังหวะลงมองเขาขึ้น
We're rocking back and forth.
นะครับเวลามองเขามอง
Now when you look at an opponent, look at him from the waist up, from the head down. Focus on that general
ม
area.
องลงดูที่ว่าเขาจะออกอาวุธอะไรมาหาเรา
Watch how they move.
นะครับก้าวไปข้างหน้า
Watch what they do before they throw a punch or a kick. Study them.
นะครับเพื่อนดูให้เร็วขึ้นนี่คือมวยไทยเรานะครับสำหรับฟูดเวิร์กแบบ
Now moving on from basic footwork, the first thing we have
ขวา
is the slide.
นะครับต่อไปเราอาจจะให้เขาฝึกสไล
When
ด์
you slide,
ครับสไลด์ไปข้างหน้า
You're going to move the same way. If you're going backwards, you move the back foot first.
ดูนะครับก้าวไปข้างหน้า2ก้าวก้าวหลังแล้วพยายามเปิดส้น
Stay on the ball of the foot, open the ankle,
ดูนะครับ1 2เปิดส้น
and slide the front foot back.
2
You want to push off the front foot, transferring the weight onto the ball of the back foot. As you push off the front foot, jump back. From there, you can also jump back in,
1 2
like this. So this technique can be used as both a defensive technique to jump back and away from your opponent, or you can counter off it. You would slide back and then jump back in.
นะครับดูนะครับเขาเลยจะเข้าไป1 2
Hop back and in.
1ครับอันนี้ครับสำหรับสไลด์แบกจัมป์
So again, the slide can be used just for a defensive technique or to set up a counter. Now I'll show you some basic hand techniques. The first is the jab. Keep your arm and wrist straight, your chin down. Be on the ball of your back foot. Open the ankle up to transfer the power forward. Now you can switch leads, just reverse everything. After you jab, bring the hand right back. It's important to protect your face.
ยับแล้วกลับทีแล้วมือขวายับอัพนะฮะยับอัพยับ
When I jab,
เวลายั
I
บ
transfer my weight
ขวาตลอดเวลา
from my back leg forward by opening my ankle, being on the ball of the foot.
ทิ้งหัวไหล่ออกไปเรายืน
That's how I get my power.
ยับก้าวไปข้างหน้ายับ
Now when you jab, just don't stand there. Move and jab. Move and jab. Keep the shoulder up.
หัวไหล่พุ่งออกไปเรื่อย
Don't jab down. Jab up. Or straight across. Jab and move. Again, when you jab, keep your shoulder tight but loose. Tight to your cheek. Now I'm going to move and jab some more, a little quicker.
อีกครั้งนะครับช้าๆยับเปิดปึ๊บ
See how I transfer the power? Make sure you get the power off of the back leg through your body.
เปิดมือแล้วกลับทันทียับแล้วกลับทันทีมืออัพอัพอัพ
Snap it out.
ครั้งนะครับยับอัพ
Bring it right back.
มุกอัพ
Don't stand still. Move. Jab and move.
อัพอัพโอเคกันครับ
Now I'll show you how to work with some students. Watch them closely. When you're working with students, you must correct them.
ยับยับยับพุ่งแรงอัพยับ
Now keep the hands up.
ยับเสร็จป้อนยับเสร็จ
Jab and move.
ยับbackยับยับ
You bring the hand right back to the face.
ยับอึ๊บยับ keep your hand up keep your hand up good อึ๊บgood
Staying on the balls of the feet, opening up the back ankle to transfer the power through the body and to the arm.
that's nice when you jab open your ankle that's your ankle up open up
If you don't bring the hand right back to the face, you're wide open to get hit by an opponent.
good up nice good up okay when you jab okay when you jab anytime you jab making sure the long up
Don't be slow, and make sure you transfer the power. Nice and quick. Snap it out and bring it right
okay
back.
start up good good up good show out up
Now, if you work out on your own, don't get lazy. You've got to be your own teacher and make sure that you do all the things I'm saying. It's very easy to get sloppy. It's very important that you transfer the power from the back leg through your body to your arm. That's where all your power comes from. Not from the arm, but from your body, from your legs.
hit you or they kill you you hand up up
When you jab, extend all the way out.
up come back
Don't punch down.
don't yet come back
Extend straight out. Be quick.
when you work out by your own you have to hand up all the time don't always make it easy way for you okay
Now, Nick was kind of punching down,
okay start
the student on the left.
up yep
Let's see how he does now.
good up so you show them
Much
all.
better.
up good up nice yeah up that's good นะครับการแยกมวยไทยนั้นพยายามแยกทุกครั้งเนี่ย
So remember,
ให้ยาว
keep the chin down.
ส้นเท้าตัวเอง
Make sure the power comes from the leg, the shoulder stays up.
มือขวาจะตก
Now when you jab, make sure you keep your right hand, if you're jabbing with the left, up. Keep the opposite hand up to protect the head. It's got to protect the head from a kick or a punch. You're vulnerable when you punch or jab, so keep the other hand up.
นะครับหลังจากที่เราเรียนสำหรับการออก
Now once again, let's go over the basic jab.
ทบทวนอีกครั้งหนึ่งคุณธรรมะแยก
When you jab,
แยกออกไป
you stay on the ball of your foot,
ขวาเราต้องเปิด
keep the ankle open, keep the shoulder in, down and in,
ซ้ายมือขวาขึ้น
other hand up by the eyebrow. If you switch lead, same thing.
เปิดฉะนั้นเวลาแยกต้องดูลูกศิษย์เรา
And when you work out, you have to correct your partner. If you're using focus gloves or kick pads, whatever it is, make sure that they're on the ball of their foot, they transfer the power through. Make sure that if he's making mistakes, you're the one who notices them.
แขนให้ยาวเย็บให้ตรงแรง
When I work with my students, I make sure they do all of this.
เก็บคางให้แน่น
They make a mistake, I correct them.
เขายัดถูกหรือผิดนั้นผมจะพยายามคอลเลกเขา
You've got to pay attention because people can't see what they're doing, so it's your job to make sure that they don't make a mistake. Now I'm going to work with a few of my students. This first student has had a few fights. I've worked with him for about 4 years. Watch him closely.
ยับเปิดส้นเท้าmore angle more angle right hand up hit
He punches straight out on the ball of his foot.
Stay, move. Stay, move. Move.
He's a more advanced student.
Move. Up. Slow and hang on. Slow. Put the jab. Open your ankle on that side.
See how he comes forward,
Chin down.
ball the foot, arm straight out.
Okay. And next
Now the second student I've worked with for a shorter period of time. He's much newer to the whole Muay Thai experience.
His name Nick.
He's done very well though in this short amount of time.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Good. Open your ankle. Put your
But he doesn't extend the arm out far enough.
Move. Up. Good. Move. Up. Up. Move. Up. Move. Move.
Watch this part of the tape several times and see if you can see the difference between the two students.
Slow. Hang on. Slow. Open the ankle. Open that. Keep your chin down. Good. More. Fast. Up.
Both bring their shoulder up very well. Shoulder has to be loose and relaxed.
Water กับนิกเขาจะยับต่างกัน
Don't make the shoulder tight. It's got to be loose and relaxed so you can throw the punch.
นะครับให้มันรีแลกซ์ออกไปยับอย่าไป
When you fight,
ปล่อยไปเรื่อยๆ
you have to fool your opponent with the jab.
มือขวาอย่าตกยับฮับวับ
Sometimes you'll throw it, sometimes you won't.
การยับเป็นสิ่งสำหรับมวยไทยเราจะต่อยคู่ต่อสู้เราจะเตะคู่ต่อสู้
You might step forward and jab,
ยับก่อนหลอกเขาก่อนแต่ยับอาจจะ
or you'd step back and jab.
ถอยหลังยับเคลื่อนซ้ายยับ
Step to the left and jab, step to the right and jab. You can move fast and jab. That has been your basic Muay Thai jab.
เดี๋ยวนะครับหลังจากที่เรา
We're now going to talk about the cross. The cross is your other hand. If you are a left lead, it's going to be the right hand, and reverse it for the other side. After you've worked on your jab, you should work on your cross. The cross is also known as a straight punch. So when in your stance, after you jab, bring the jab back. Don't drop your hands. Always bring it right back. Don't drop it down. You drop it down, you'll get kicked or punched in the neck or head. Right back to the head. After you jab, the cross follows. Make sure that you come from the back. This is the power punch, more powerful than the jab. Turn the whole body into it. Jab, then cross, extend out. Here's how it looks from the side. Jab, then cross. See how I'm on the ball of my foot? All the power. Open my ankle. All the power. Jab comes right back, then I cross. Then the cross comes back. Jab, then cross. This is the 1-2 combination. It's the most basic combination. 1-2. Jab, cross. Jab, cross. Make it quick. The cross is your power punch. You set it up with the jab. Get the whole body into it. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to do it by breaking it down. Here's how you do the cross. See how I turn my body? My whole body's into it. From my foot, up my leg, to my back. Bring the hand right back to the chin. You've got to be on the defensive right afterwards. Throw all your power out and bring it back. Turn the body into it. Remember, this is your power punch. You've got to use all your power. Set it up with the jab and then come through with the cross. You can move fast and throw the cross. Don't be slow. Don't be sloppy. Make sure you bring the hands back. I can't overemphasize this. After you throw the punches, bring them right back. Don't drop the hands. When working out with students or a partner, it's very important that you observe what they're doing. Just don't stand there and hold the pads and let them hit them. Your job is more important. You have to watch what they're doing and correct any mistake they make, and encourage them if they're doing things properly. Make sure that they come through and turn and hit the pads properly. Just don't stand there holding the pads. Now once again, I'll be working with a newer student and a more experienced student. Watch them both to see the difference and to see that they turn their hip, they get their body into the punch. The newer student is a little tighter usually. Let's see what happens. First we'll have the more experienced student. Walter looks pretty good, but he's not turning his shoulder enough. He's on the ball of the foot, but he doesn't come through with the cross. He needs to extend more and come from the back power, to bring the power from the back of the leg. Needs to extend more. Now let's watch Nick. He's the newer student. He needs to be a little looser. He's not letting the shoulder go. He doesn't bring it through. He's not as quick either, but that comes with more with experience. Not bad though for a new student. So this is what you must do. You must correct the students or your partner and show them what they're doing, what they're not doing. We want to see the power come from the back leg. The cross is a knockout punch. If you throw it right, if you do what I tell you, you can knock somebody out in the ring. Keep the shoulder loose. You've got to throw the punch out there. Snap it out. Now this is better. I think you can see how his punch is stronger here. And you can hear the pad being hit. That's the sound you want to hear. And Nick looks a little better here too. He's still tight in the shoulder. It's hard to keep your arms up and be loose. But if you're tight, you can't be quick. You want to make it fast. If you're tight, you can't be fast. So this is a way to work with students and partners. Watch them closely and give them feedback. So far, I've told you about the jab and the cross. When you jab, make sure you stay on the ball of the foot and transfer the weight forward from the back leg. Same thing for the cross, but turn the body more. More power. That's your power punch. See how I transfer my weight forward? I turn my body. Replace one shoulder with the other for the cross. Look at the back leg. That power comes straight up. This is your basic combination. 1-2. Jab, cross. Power from the leg, not from the arm. Keep the shoulder loose. You're going to be on the ball of the foot. Open the ankle. Alright. Now, I'm going to show you another punch. It's called the hook. In Muay Thai, we have two types of hooks, the short hook and the long hook. The short hook is when the opponent comes into you. He's approaching, you can hook him to the head or the neck and the body. The long hook is used when he's farther away from you and you want to reach out to him. Muay Thai hook is different from most Western boxers. They squat down, they turn the body very little. Bend the knees, the power is down there. Muay Thai is different. We stand the balls of our feet. We make our arm parallel with the ground, and the knuckles are square when we hit. The knee doesn't bend as much, but the foot pivots. That's the important difference. We turn our body into the punch. See how I turn? My arm is parallel with the ground, and I pivot on that front foot.
ด้านนี้อีกครั้งหนึงนะฮะเวลา
Turn your whole body into the punch. Once again, the power comes from the body, not from the arm.
ฮึบฮึบ
Pivot on that foot.
ฮุกลำตัวนะครับดูนะครับฮุกฮึบ
Turn.
ฮุกนี่ฮุกลำตัวอันนี้ฮุกหน้า
You can punch high, you can hook low,
ขึ้นเอาไว้
but always keep the arm parallel to the ground.
หน้าดูอีกครั้งหนึ่งฮึบฮึบฮึบฮุกลำตัวฮึบฮึบฮุกลำตัวฮึบอีกครั้งนะครับให้เร็วขึ้นนะฮึบ
Make sure you move when you throw all your punches. Just don't stand there.
ฮึบฮุก
Be
ลำตัว
active.
ฮุก
Hook
หน้า
high,
ฮึบ
hook high,
ฮุกลำตัวฮึบ
hook low.
ฮึบฮุกหน้าฮึบฮึบครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆนะครับดูให้ช้าๆช้าๆนะครับฮุก
Now when you hook, make sure you keep the other hand up.
กลับที่เดิม
Just like your other punches, you've got to cover with the other hand. Keep it parallel to the ground, the hooking arm.
โดนตรงนี้
Make the knuckles square.
ฮึบลำตัวฮึบฮึบฮุกนะ
High or low,
ลำตัว
same technique.
เท้าต้องหมุน
Pivot on that
เท้า
foot.
ซ้ายต้องหมุนนะฮะเวลา
That's where the power comes from, turning your body into it.
น้ำหนักจะอยู่ด้านนี้
Keep the shoulder loose.
น้ำหนักไม่มีมากเท่ากับ 100%
Use your legs to drive through.
ครับขาหนึ่งหมุนหมุน
Once again, see how the power comes from my leg up through my ankle.
ฮุกลำตัวฮึบฮุกหน้าฮึบฮุกลำตัวฮุกฮึบลำตัวฮึบฮุกหน้าฮึบฮึบฮึบโอเคนะครับนี่สำหรับการฮุกสั้น
Okay, that's the short hook. Now I'm going to show you the long hook, which differs a little bit. Directed towards the head usually. You're going to step in and reach out. The palm can be facing down, like in the short hook, or the palm can be facing you, towards your face. Either is acceptable. You want to step in, turn and hook. Follow through with the elbow.
ไปนะครับก้าวครับเปิดส้น
Make sure the power comes from behind, just like the short hook. Step in and turn.
ก้าวแล้วก้าวไปฮะก้าวไปน้ำหนักทิ้งออกไป
Keep the shoulder loose and turn.
ครั้งหนึ่ง
Step in and turn.
ฮุก
Move, just don't be static.
ฮึบฮึบสวัสดีครับเมื่อกี้ผมโชว์
Alright, so far we've gone over the short hook and the long hook, both with the lead hand.
แล้วมาหัดหมัดฮุกที่ยาวหมัด
Now when you hook,
ฮุกที่หน้า
You can hook to the head, you can hook to the body.
ลองฮุกยาวๆเนี่ยจะแตกต่างกันนิดนึง
Always turn though when you hook.
ฮุกที่
Don't drop the
หน้า
hand when you hook. The other hand. Keep your guard up. Make sure you turn the leg. That's where your power comes from. From your legs. Pivot that leg. Pivot that foot. Turn. Low hook. Same thing. But always keep the opposite hand up. You've got to protect yourself. Drop your hand, you could get punched or elbowed to the head. And that won't feel good. Keep it up. Protect yourself while you hook. Bring the shoulder up to your cheek when you hook. It helps protect that side, the punching side. Alright, so now we've gone over the short hook and the long hook. Make sure you don't drop the opposite hand. It's very important that you defend yourself while throwing punches. Now I'm going to show you how to work out with a student or a friend, hold the pads for them, and so they can work on their hook. And watch what they do. You can learn for yourself also by correcting them. Make sure they turn, keep the arm parallel to the ground. The first student is my student Walter. Watch how he works out. Yes, he needs to pivot more and keep the arm more parallel with the ground. Like that. See how it's parallel? Just like that. You keep the elbow up like that because you can follow through with the elbow and cut them with your elbow. Go right through, and sometimes you'll cook them and then hit them with the elbow also. So it's very good to follow through with the elbow. I want him to turn his leg more though. If he turns it more, he'll have more power.
Right hand up, right hand up. Chin down. Good, chin down.
He snaps it out very nicely.
Turn more.
But turn more.
On the body.
That's a low hook. Those are body shots. This is higher for the head. He should still turn more. That's it, right there.
Good. Right hand up. Turn. Up. Good. Good.
He pivoted right there.
Good. Start hook. Hook. Good. Hook. Okay, hook. เห็นไหมครับ เวลาฮุกเราจะ
When you hook, make sure keep the knuckle square, the elbow goes through and parallel to the ground.
หมัดฮุกของมวยไทยแล้วนะครับ เราโชว์และแนะนำเพียงเท่านี้สำหรับหมัดฮุกเรา โอเคนะครับ
So far, we've covered the hook that's both short and long with the lead hand.
ซ้ายเราถ้าเราฮุกซ้ายมือ
Power from the leg, keep the other hand up,
ออกไป
and turn. Elbow parallel with the ground and follow through with the elbow. Power from the
ฮุ
leg.
กเราจะฮุกขวาก็ได้
Now the other side, or your rear hand, same thing. It's a power punch. You're going to pivot the back foot instead of the front foot. Keep the elbow parallel, just like the front hand. It's the exact same motion, only it's from the other side. And you should have more power. You're turning the body, just like the front punch. Same thing. So that's the back hook. Now we'll move on to the uppercut. Now again, the uppercut is different from Western uppercuts. You want to wait till the opponent comes in. Keep your feet planted. Don't bend down like a Western boxer. It's different in Thai. We come up, get on our toes, and punch through. Keep the other hand up, just like all our other punches, and the power comes from the back leg, just like all the other punches. Turn up. Keep the other hand up, and rotate the shoulder. Turn the body through the punch. Don't squat down. That's not what we want to do here. Turn into the punch. Open the ankle, be on the balls of the feet. Whether it's the front or the back is always more powerful because you get more of your body into it. But the front's a good punch too. Be able to use them both. You sit down. The reason we don't sit down like that in Muay Thai is you'll get kneed in the head or kicked in the head. That's why we don't go down. We stay up and straight.
ยกขึ้นเฉยๆยกขึ้นเฉยๆดูนะครับมุก
Turn and throw it.
ดูนะครับช้าๆครับเลย
This is a very good punch to use when the opponent comes in close.
เปิดส้นปึ๊บขวา
Power comes from the legs, just like the other punches. Watch it from this angle.
ขึ้นอัปเปอร์คัตขวาขึ้น
See how I turn my body? Power comes from my leg.
ปึ๊บอัปเปอร์คัตเสร็จแล้วกลับมือ
Turn
ที่เดิมปึ๊บ
Turn.
กลับที่เดิม
Bring the hand right back after you throw the punch.
ปึ๊บกลับที่เดิม
Turn the hip also.
นะฮะกลับที่
Turn
เดิม
right
สำ
up.
หรับอัปเปอร์คัต
Alright, that's the basic uppercut.
สำคัญถ้าอัปเปอร์คัตหนึ่ง
Now what I don't want you to do is just use your arms.
ขวาขึ้น
Use your body.
ซ้ายขึ้น
Bring your power through. Bring your hips through. That's where your power comes from your body.
อัปเปอร์คัตเสร็จแล้วมือกลับมาเข้า
Stay upright on the balls of your feet and turn the hip.
ฮึบฮึบกลับฮึบฮึบ
Like that.
ปลายเท้ายืน
Power comes from the legs.
อย่ายืนเต็มเท้าอย่างนี้
Don't be flat-footed. No good.
ยืนอย่างนี้หนึ่ง
On the balls of the foot so you can turn the hip in.
ฮึบ
You've got to use the body for your
ฮึ
power.
บดูนะครับดูข้างนี้นะฮะ
See how I turn?
ดูข้างนี้
You can't do that if you're flat-footed.
ฮึบ
It's very important that you use the body.
คัดมวยไทยก็มีเท่านี้นะครับโอเคนะครับทีนี้เราจะฝึกสำหรับอัปเปอร์คัตให้ดู
Now we're going to use the focus gloves to develop our uppercuts. Remember, turn from both sides. Always keep the other hand up. Turn the body. That's where the power comes from. Now the uppercut, like all the other punches, when you work on it with the focus gloves, you've got to watch your partner, make sure they're doing everything properly. Meet the punch with the pad. Come down and hit their punch with the pad. Let's watch Walter.
ซ้ายซ้ายซ้ายซ้าย
I want him to use more leg. That's better. He comes through the pad real solid. Now the right side. More hip. Bring the body through it.
Move. Right. Up. Up.
But these are good uppercuts.
Up. Keep more. Up.
You
Good.
can use more body,
Up.
more power.
Now left and right. Up. Left and right.
Now he's throwing a combination, left-right uppercut.
Move. Move. Good. Again.
Walter's worked very hard to develop these uppercuts.
โอเคแล้วเราวอเตอร์เขาจะทิ้งน้ำหนักออกไป
See how he turns. I want him to turn his body more, though. Now let's look at Nick. He's a much newer student.
อ่าฮะเอฟเอฟโอเค
His punches aren't as compact. He's a little wilder.
อ่าฮะฮึบ Good.
I need him to turn more, too.
Right. Up. Up.
The right's pretty good.
Up. Up. Left and right. Up. Up.
Now when you uppercut, you have to turn your hip
Turn.
and your body,
Bang. Bang. Okay.
just like that.
Good. Hand up. Up. Up.
Make sure you keep the opposite side hand up. Keep your chin down
Okay.
also while you uppercut. Keep it in tight.
หนึ่ง
Turn,
สอง
turn, just like that.
น้ำหนักต้อง
Power comes from the legs, just like the other punches.
นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Turn, turn.
กลับที่เดิมอัปเปอร์คัตซ้ายเดิน
Keep
ข
the
วา
opposite
ขึ้น
hand up,
อัปเปอร์คัตขวาเดินซ้ายขึ้น
no matter which punch you throw.
ครับกลับครับ
And always turn for your punches.
ครับนี่สำหรับหมัด
Alright, to review.
ใส่ของเรา
Make sure you keep your chin down, your opposite hand up when you throw the punch, turn your body, be in the balls of your feet.
สำหรับประคัต
That's your basic Muay Thai uppercut.
โอเคนะครับ
We're now ready to move on to combinations.
ซ้ำ
Now when you throw a combination, you want to do it at the right opening. A way to create an opening with an opponent is to move your body. You can lean in or lean back. By doing so, you'll either make the distance between the two of you less or more. This will give you the opportunity to throw a combination or even just a regular punch. Lean back. You can avoid a punch and then come back in with a punch.
เปิดส้นเท้าหลัง
Go back on your foot when you lean back.
มือขวาบานเข้ามาปึ๊บ
Keep your hands up.
นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่งอย่างนี้หรืออย่างนี้
It's always good to move. Don't be still.
หนึ่ง
Move back and then come in.
แล้วแต่เราทำเป็นสองอย่างอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับหนึ่งหรือหนึ่ง
You could drop your hand to block a kick if he throws a kick.
นะครับเริ่มต้นนะครับ
So that's how you can set up the opportunity for combinations. The first combination we're going to work on is the jab cross. We covered this a little bit before. This is your basic combination. 1-2.
นะครับ
1-2.
ที่ออกไปนั้นพยายามออกให้เต็ม
Now you have to bring the hand right back.
ให้เต็มที่นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่งครับหนึ่ง
1-2.
นะครับ
Keep the shoulders loose so you can throw the punch out.
มุก
Move.
นะครับมุกมืออย่าตกนะครับ
This is your most basic combination. This is the one you should work on first.
ครับแบบที่สองก็คือ
Now we'll move on to the jab, cross, hook. Jab, cross, and then left hook.
นะครับหนึ่ง
Jab, cross,
สอง
hook.
ช้าๆหนึ่ง
Jab,
สอง
cross, hook.
หนึ่งสองฮุกเร็วขึ้นนะครับ
Now you've got to have all these punches down separately before you move on to the combinations.
ครั้งหนึ่งมุกมุก
Keep moving.
เวลาออกหมัดหนึ่งสอง
Before you hook, make sure you bring the right hand back to cover.
มือขวาต้องขึ้นไว้ก่อน
Don't leave yourself open, then throw the hook.
ครั้งนะครับหนึ่งสอง
Bring it back, cover, hook.
หนึ่งสองฮุกหนึ่ง
Don't rush yourself.
ครั้งนะครับมุก
Stay relaxed. But be quick.
นะครับสำหรับอันที่
All right.
สาม
Next, we're going to work on the jab, cross, weave, hook.
สองมุกแบ็ค
Weave or lean,
ซ้าย
same thing.
ครั้งนะครับหนึ่งสองมุกฮุกซ้ายอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆ
Jab, cross,
ขวา
then you would lean out to avoid your opponent, come in and hook.
หนึ่งสองกลับมาฮุกเอาเร็วขึ้นนะครับ
There's a beat between the punches. You want to have your timing down right.
ฮุกนะค นะครับ one two whip hook
Don't rush it. Look for the
นะ
opening.
ครับ
Now, the jab, cross, hook, uppercut. Jab, cross, hook, uppercut. These are all the punches you've learned so far.
แย็บ
All in one combination.
พอขวาตรงกลับมาแล้วก็ฮุกซ้ายกลับมาแล้วอัปเปอร์คัตขวาอีกครั้งนะครับช้าๆแย็บ
Jab, cross, bring the hand back, hook, cover, uppercut.
ครั้งเร็วๆนะครับปังปังปังปังมุก One,
Again,
two,
jab, cross,
hook
hook, uppercut.
นะครับ1 2 3 4อีกครั้งนะครับ
Use your body. Jab,
1 2
cross,
กลับมาฮุกกลับมาอัปเปอร์คัต
uppercut
ด้านนี้นะครับ1 2กลับมา
Always bring the hands back to cover.
Uppercut
That's the most important thing.
1
Not throwing the punch, but making sure you don't leave yourself open.
1 2 3 4นะครับ1 2 3 4
Then work on making it faster. Turn on the power.
ต่อไปโอเค
Alright, here's another one. Jab, uppercut, hook.
ซ้าย uppercut ขวาเล็บฮุกนะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Jab. Bring it back. Uppercut. Then the hook.
เล็บฮุก1
Jab,
2
uppercut, hook.
ครับ1ฮับฮุก1ฮับฮุก1ฮับฮุกฮุก1ฮับฮุก
This is a powerful combination when you're in close. Now the cross, hook, cross. Power.
นะครับกลับมา
Bring it back. Hook.
โยกนิดนึง
And then come back with the cross again.
นะครับปั๊บฮึบฮึบขาหนึ่งขวาฮุกขวา
This is a rare combination. We're starting with the cross. Cross. Hook. Then another cross.
ขวาฮุก
If your opponent's looking for the jab, this will fool him. There's no jab
ขวา
here.
อีกครั้งนะครับขวาฮุกขวาโอเค1 2ขวาฮึบ
This is a good way to set up a punch with a double jab.
หนึ่งฮึบฮุกเดี๋ยวนะครับช้ายัดสองครั้ง
Jab,
หนึ่ง
jab, cross,
แล้วก็
and then the hook.
นะครับอีกครั้งหนึ่ง1
Jab,
2
jab, cross, and then the hook.
เร็วๆนะครับ1ฮับฮับ1ฮับฮับฮับฮับฮับ
Try to break up your rhythm. Don't do it the same way each time. Now jab right to the body, low, and then the hook.
ยับฮับฮุกนี่ยัดหน้าเขาแล้วก็หลอก
When you do this, he might drop his guard to cover for the body shot, and then leave the head open. Jab, then go low, downstairs, then to the head.
ที่หน้าฮับฮับฮับบุกบุกฮับ
Don't always aim for the head. Makes it easier for your opponent to protect themselves.
อันนะครับฮุกต่อยลำตัวกลับขึ้นมาฮุกที่หน้า
Bring it back.
ฮับฮับฮับโอเคแรกเราเข้าไปหาเขาฮุกปั๊บ
Left hook to the body, cross, then the hook.
ลำตัวก่อนนะครับเข้าไปฮุกปั๊บต่อยปั๊บฮุกโอเคฮึบขาหนึ่งฮึบฮึบฮึบฮุกซ้ายที่ลำตัวป๊อปต่อยขวาที่หน้าฮุกซ้ายที่หน้าดูนะครับฮึบฮึบฮึบ
I use my body in all the punches.
นะครับต่อไปนี่ก็คือคอมบิเนชั่นต่อไปก็คือ
Here's the lean back technique again. Then we'll come in with the uppercut and then a cross.
แล้วขวาตรงดูนะครับอีกครั้งหนึงนะ
Lean out, uppercut, then the cross.
ถ้าต่อยขวาเรามาปั้ง
As the opponent comes in, as you lean out, then catch him coming in with the uppercut and then finish him with the
นะ
cross.
ครับดูนะอัปเปอร์คัตต่อยข
The
วา
power at the end.
Set
him up with the uppercut and then finish him.
ช้าๆกับอัปเปอร์คัตต่อยขวาออกไปนะครับวันนี้คืออันหนึ่งอันที่เร็วๆนะครับดูให้เร็วๆนะฮึบ
You've got to come right back after you lean.
โอเคครับโอเคนะครับ
This is a different punch, the overcross, but not that different. Just come over his hand.
โค้งออกไปแล้วก็เล็บ
As you lean back, he might come with a punch, and you're going to punch over that punch.
ขวา
That's why you lean out of the way, and then come with the uppercut.
ดูนะครับแล้วก็ต่อยขวา
Punch
โค้ง
over
ออกไปกลับมาปั๊บ
Pull it back, and then finish him.
ดูนะครับฮึบฮึบฮึบโอเค
Jab, hook, cross. You can see I'm getting sweaty here. These aren't easy to do.
ดูนะครับพอเรานี้เราหลอกเข้ามาแล้ว แยบแล้วก็ฮุกเลยแล้วก็ต่อยขวาอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
Jab, left hook, then the cross.
แยบฮุกต่อยอีกครั้ง
2 punches from the left side, then the right. Now remember, this is just a sample of the many combinations that are possible to perform once you master all of the basic
สำ
punches.
หรับคอมบิเนชันนะครับโอเคนะครับต่อไปนี้ผมจะโชว์สำหรับ
Now it's time to talk about the elbows.
มวยไทยของเรานั้นมี
In Muay Thai, this is our most dangerous weapon. The elbows are very effective when you're in close.
เรื่องศอก
You can also use them in conjunction with the
ผม
knees.
จะโชว์ศอกก่อน
Knee
ศอกนี้
and elbow combinations are very effective both in the ring or in a self-defense
ใกล้กับตัว
situation.
เราดีมากๆสำหรับ
With my female students, I really try to get them to work hard on the elbow techniques because you don't need arm strength to use the elbow. You use the body, just like the punches. Now we throw the elbow from the same position that we throw punches from. Hands up, protecting the head. The first elbow we're going to throw is a straight
นี่จะ
elbow.
ศอกขวาให้หมุนจากด้านขวามานะฮะ
Just like that.
ไปช้าๆนะครับช้าๆ
Bring the hand across in front of the face.
หมุนศอก
Arm parallel to the ground. Use the tip of the elbow.
ตรงนี้จะเป็นกระดูกนะ
That's what you want to make contact with. Don't fold the wrist over. Keep it straight.
ธรรมดาบอกให้ตรงอย่าไป
Nice and strong.
ปล่อยให้ดีแลกซ์นะครับดูนะครับช้าๆ
Turn the body into it just like the punch. Power comes from the ball of the foot. Open the ankle. Turn into it.
นะครับครั้งหนึ่งนะ
This is from your power side, so this is going to be the more powerful of your elbows.
ครับดูนะช้าๆ
Keep your chin down and tight.
ซ้ายเก็บเอาไว้เก็บคาง
Don't open your face up like this.
ครับหรืออย่าสอบอย่างนี้
Leaves you open for
นะพยายาม
attack.
นั้นทิ้ง
Come
หัวไหล่
across,
ออกไป
use the tip.
ครับทิ้งหัวไหล่ถ้าทิ้งลำตัวออกไปครับดูนะครับช้าๆ
Now with this straight elbow, you're aiming for the jaw, maybe the neck or the side of the head. You're in tight, and that's your
ด้าน
target.
นี้อีกทีนะครับศอกขึ้น
Be on the ball of the foot and turn.
ด้านนี้
Pivot.
ดูนะ
Turn into it.
นี่คือศอกตรงอีกครั้งหนึ่ง
And move. Just like the punches. Don't stand still and do it.
นะครับ
Now the next
ต่อไป
elbow we're going to do is the overhead.
เขาเรียกว่าศอก overhead
elbow, and the target for this is the forehead.
หัวลงมา
You would
ถ้าเขาบล็อก
attempt this elbow to go over your opponent's hands. If he has his guard up, but not up high enough to protect his forehead, you come up and over and
ศอก
down.
overhead elbow นะครับตบครั้งหนึ่งยืนตัวขึ้น
Up, raise yourself, and come down. Get on almost on your toes, a little higher than the balls of your feet. Open the ankle up a lot,
ช้านะครับปุ๊บ
and come down. Use your power coming
ยืน
down.
ตัวขึ้น
You have to have a flexible shoulder to do this, nice and loose. Come right across the forehead. If you do it hard enough, you'll cut
ห
them.
มังข้าง
Just like that. Bring it down hard.
จะแตกต่างจากศอกตรงนิดนึงนะฮะนึกดูนะศอกตรงนี่จะตัดระหว่างคางตรงนี้
The straight elbow is for a cross, straight across.
ศอก overhead
And this comes over the top.
ถ้าเขาบล็อกอย่างนี้
Depending on his guard, you use different ones.
ศอกตามหัวกดกด
You've got to see what your opponent's doing and then respond to it. The next elbow we're going to show you is the front elbow.
ศอกหน้า
Front elbow comes straight
ศอก
up
หน้าคือยกศอกขึ้นไปตรงๆศอกไปตรงๆ
from either side.
ดีมากสำหรับป้องกันตัวเองเข้ามาหาเรานะฮะเราอยู่อย่างนี้ศอกฮึบ
You can also use it as someone approaches you for self-defense. Turn your hip into it. As they come to you, you just meet them.
ฮึบ
Turn the hip.
ตรงนี้ที่ตรงนั้นแหลม
Use this part of the elbow, the very point.
นะครับให้โดนเขาให้ได้อย่าเอาตรงนี้โดน
Don't use the outside or the inside of the elbow. You're going to hurt yourself. That's where the joint meets. Use the bone.
ฝ่ามือซ้ายจะ
The front elbow is a lot like the uppercut. Same body motion. Bring the hip in and turn. Hip in and turn. Just like the uppercut, only you're striking with the elbow instead of the fist.
หน้านะครับ
Now our next elbow is a jerking elbow. It's very similar to the hook punch, only instead of hitting with your hand, you're going to be hitting with the elbow. Jerking elbow.
นะครับดูนะ
Step in and turn. Pivot on the foot, just like a hook punch. Step in, pivot, turn.
ดูนะครับนี่เรียกว่า jerking elbow
The difference between these elbows and the punches is that you would be closer to the opponent, or you would be bridging the gap, becoming closer to them.
9
And it's better to use an elbow, it's more powerful.
9
Step in and turn, just like the
ก้าวไป
hook.
นิดนึงนะฮะต่อขึ้นมา 4-5 องศาฮึบ
You can come up at an angle
ดูนะฮึบ
or go straight across.
ฮึบฮึบอีกข้างหนึ่ง
Remember, when we talked about the hook punch, we said you can follow through with the elbow
ก้าว
also.
อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
Sometimes you won't follow through, you'll just use the elbow.
เทิร์นก้าว
Turn,
ก้าว
pivot and turn. Use the body.
เทิร์นนะครับอันนี้คือสลับศอก
Finally, we have the swing back elbow.
ศอกต่อไป
This is a hard one to do. Watch me closely.
หลัง
You're going to turn around
นี่คือเราตี
and
ด้าน
use your elbow. Swing your arm around like this. You've got to be loose and relaxed. This is the motion,
back elbow
but you still want to use the point of your elbow to make contact.
เราทีนี้เราสอบด้วยตรงนี้
Use that point.
ปั๊บ
Twist and then come back to your guard.
ปั๊บ
Twist and come back to your guard.
นะอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆวับ
You're going to step in, pivot on your feet, twist, then come back to your guard right away.
สอบหลังขวามือซ้ายต้องเก็บให้แน่นเก็บคางเอาไว้
Keep your guard up before you do it.
ก้าวปึ๊บเข้ามานะครับดูครั้งหนึ่งปึ๊บ
Pivot your feet and twist towards your target.
ง่ายๆคือปึ๊บปึ๊บ
Make sure you hit with the point of the elbow.
ปึ๊บปึ๊บ
Swing back elbow is good to use in combination with the jab, just like
กลั
that.
บที่เดิม back elbow
We've now covered
นะคือศอกกลับ
all of the basic elbows that there are in Muay
นี่
Thai.
เรามีที่มาแล้ว
Just like your punches,
ศอกตรง
you want to turn. That's the straight elbow. Get on the ball of the foot,
ทิ้งเราออกไป
turn. Use your body.
อันนี้ศอก overhead
Keep your guard up while you do it.
ขวายกตัวขึ้นนิดนึง
The overhead elbow, raise your body, come down. Aim for the forehead.
กดลงมาอันนี้คือศอก overhead elbow นะครับอันที่สามคือศอกหน้า
The front
ศ
elbow,
อกหน้าคือหนึ่ง
come straight up, just like an uppercut. Bring your hips in. Bring your power
ห
in.
น้าฮิตตกหน้าศอกอยู่ข้างหน้า
Use the tip of the elbow to strike with.
ปั๊บอันที่สี่คือเจอกิ้ง elbow ศอกโดยศอกที่เรามือที่อยู่ข้างหน้านี่เองนะครับดูครั้งหนึ่งช้า
Then the jerking elbow, it's like a hook. Step in and turn and pivot on that foot.
ก้าว
Step in,
มือขวาอย่าตก
pivot and turn.
ปึ๊บ
Right through.
ข้างนี้ก้าวหมุน
Right through.
ดูนะฮะก้าวหมุนลำตัว
Just like a hook punch.
ก้าวหมุนลำตัวศอกที่ห้าต่อไปก็คือ
And the swing
ศอก
back,
กลับนะครับยับ
point your toes at your target, set it up with the jab and turn around.
ครับแยับก่อน
Jab,
ก้าว
turn.
ไปน้ำหนักจากศอกนั่นก็คือ
Use the point of the elbow.
ลำตัวเรา
You have to be flexible in the lower back.
ทำแบบ
It's the hardest of them all, perhaps.
หมุนทำแบบ
Now, each of these different elbow techniques has a different
ทั้
application.
งหมดมีห้าศอกมีศอก
Different situations you'll use it. Straight across,
ศอกสูง
up to down,
แล้วก็ศอกด้านหน้า
down to up,
แล้วก็ศอก
diagonally
แล้วก็ศอกกลับ
or spinning
ศอก
around.
นี้ดีสำหรับ
In each case,
self defense
just like your punches, your power comes from your body.
หาเราใกล้ที่สุดที่จะใกล้ได้
Make sure you use your body properly. Make sure you use the elbow properly too. Use the point. Don't use the inside of the joint or the outside of the joint. That's a very good way to hurt yourself. You've got to use the bone. That's your weapon. We're now going to move on to some combinations that I'll demonstrate with focus gloves.
เราจะโชว์ในเทปที่3กับ4ต่อไปนะครับโอเคนะครับในเทป2นี้
This is just a sample of the combinations that are available to you once you
ระหว่าง
have worked with the hand techniques and elbow techniques. Remember, it's just a sample. Once you learn the techniques, you should invent your own combinations.
ตอนนี้ผมจะโชว์
Once again, let's go over the proper way to use the pads. You want to meet the punches or the elbows. Don't let them hit you. Don't be tight.
เวลาเขายับมากดลงไป
Meet them.
เขายับมากดลงไป
Meet them. Opposite sides. Don't be tight.
ถ้าทำอย่างนี้แล้วเนี่ยนักมวยจะชกไม่ได้เลยนะฮะ
And you want the punches to come from the opposite side.
ยับมากดลงไปเขาต่อยมากดยับกด
Meet the punches. Meet the elbows.
ทามมิ่งนะฮะออกเข้ากันเพราะคุณจะได้ฝึกตีตัวไปด้วยนะครับอีกครั้ง
Now, it's even more important for the elbows to be on the opposite side.
หรือถ้าเขาศอกมาถ้าเขาศอก
If you don't meet them properly.
อย่าเอามือซ้ายไปรับ
Because if he goes through the pad and skips off, he'll hit you. That's why you want to do it from the opposite side. That's why if he skips off, it'll go past you.
ดูนะครับผมจะเวิร์ก
So it's very important you use the pads properly.
มือก่อนนะครับ
Walter's going to work with me now and show you some combinations on the pads.
โอเค one two
First thing he'll be showing you is 1-2 hook.
1 2 hook
1-2 hook.
1 2 hook
1-2 hook.
1 2 hook
Jab cross hook. Jab cross hook.
ฮุกซ้ายอัพ
I want him to turn a little more in that hook, like that.
Hook straight hand okay move this side okay
Now that's a 1-2 hook cross. 1-2 hook cross.
now jab straight uppercut left
Now we're going to add the uppercut. 1-2 uppercut.
Bang, bang, uppercut. Hook right again. Okay. Slow, up, hook, up, okay.
1-2 uppercut
Slow.
hook.
1, 2.
1-2 uppercut. Here's the hook.
Okay.
Now he's going to speed it up.
Okay นะครับ ต่อไปนี้คือแย็บศอกขวาตรง
Now we're going to add the elbow.
แย็บ straight elbow นะครับ โอเค slow นะครับ slow แย็บ
Jab.
straight elbow อ่าฮะ
Right elbow.
โอเค
This is the straight elbow. Jab, straight right elbow. So he steps in on the jab,
ขวานะครับดูนะครับ
bridges the
ศอกขวา
distance.
แย็บกดลงไปแย็บกดลงไปครั้งหนึ่งอ่าฮะ
Brings his hands right back up afterwards.
ดูนะครับ เวลาเขาศอกขวา มือซ้ายเขาจะป้องกันหน้าตลอดเวลา
Make sure you keep the hand up when you elbow.
ดูอีกมุมนี้นะครั
Always cover. Protect yourself. It's better to take a punch or an elbow in the hand than it is in the head. That's why you bring the hand to cover the head. This is a straight elbow up. Jab, straight elbow. Jab, straight elbow.
เวลาศอกตรงตอกกดลงไปฮึบฮึบฮึบทีนี้ศอก overhead
Now we're going to do the overhead elbow. Jab, overhead.
ศอก overhead อย่างนี้นะครับปั๊บโค้งกดลงมา
Gets up on his toes and comes down with his body weight.
ยืดตัวขึ้นทำนะครับ
Jab, comes down. Jab, come down.
หาง
This is a very powerful elbow. Whips up and then
อ้าว
down.
เปลี่ยน
You can go right over your opponent's defense.
come back the elbow straight and overhead yep straight overhead
It's a double elbow. Jab, straight, and then overhead. Jab, straight, overhead. You can break down the defense with the straight elbow and then come over it.
Good. And move. Move. Move.
Gotta be in close to use the elbows. Set it up with the jab. And after you jab, bring the hand right back to cover.
เวลาเขากาดคือเขาจะมือขึ้นสูงกว่าเวลา ถ้าเราศอกก็มือตก
Make sure you use the right part of the elbow.
หาเรา
And make sure you have the hand up.
ศอกแย็บปั๊บ
Jab, bring the hand back, and then elbow.
มือไม่ต้องขึ้น
Whether it's a straight or an overhead
ส
elbow.
อง overhead elbow อันที่สามก็คือ
Alright, now we're going to move on to 1-2 jerking elbow.
left elbow okay 1 2 left elbow
Watch Walter. 1-2 jerking elbow.
นะครับ
1-2 jerking elbow.
Up, slow, and
Jab, cross, then the elbow. See how he pivots out? 1-2 elbow.
slow, hang on.
Whenever learning new combinations like this, it's a good idea to always start slowly, learn it properly, and then build up speed gradually. Then add the power.
2 หาครับหมุน again up
Pivot on that elbow.
okay up
Pivot.
fast
Now Walter's going a little faster. He's adding the power.
okay front elbow
Alright, once you've worked with all the elbow techniques, you'll find that in different situations you can use different elbows. For instance, the front elbow is very useful if you can't use the straight or the overhead. You should be able to come up underneath. Make sure you use your hips though in all the elbows. Come through with your power.
move
Now when working with a partner or a student, once they've practiced all the elbows, a good way to see how well they've mastered them is for you to hold the pads and to say to them, let me see the front elbow. Let me see the swing back. See if they can do what you want them to do.
overhead straight up overhead okay okay straight up overhead straight up
That's what I'm doing with Walter here. He's not doing the elbow he wants to do. I'm commanding him. I'm giving him the
jogging
instruction of which elbow to throw each time.
okay
And he's doing a pretty good job of doing what I ask.
jogging okay
But you can only do this after you've learned all the techniques and really had some time to work with them.
swing back swing back and up swing back move swing back swing back Okay.
Welcome to tape 3. We're going to start with front push kicks. This is the straight push kick. There's 2 variations. In both instances, you'll make contact with the ball of the foot. The planted leg, you want to lock the knees straight. In one variation, you're flat-footed, and that's when you're not moving. And the other variation, your heel is up in the air, you're on the ball of the foot, and that's when you're moving. It's more of an offensive move. That's a planted one there, and that's a moved one. Make sure the leg that you're kicking with is loose. Now this kick can be performed with either the front leg, the lead leg, or the rear leg. I'm demonstrating it here on the belly protector. When you work out with a partner, you can also do it lightly without the belly protector. Get my hip into it. This is another type of straight kick, the tip-toes kick. Be careful not to hurt your toes on the belly protector. This is used straight into the stomach. It's good for the solar plexus. Can knock the wind out of somebody. It's similar to a finger jab. Toes go straight in. The planted leg does the same thing as in the other push kick. See how the toes go straight in? Not the ball of the foot. Straight up and in. You can drop the hand on the side while you kick, or sometimes you keep both hands up to protect. This is a side push kick. It's different from other martial arts styles. We don't turn the foot 90 degrees, only 45 degrees, both the planted foot and the striking foot. Both are at 45 degrees when impact occurs. Now it's alright to drop your arm while you kick to keep your balance, because by extending your leg, your opponent can't attack from that side. But keep the other arm up to make sure he doesn't kick you in the head from that side or punch you. Study these tapes carefully, watch them a few times to see all of the things I'm talking about. This is the slap push. It's good to irritate your opponent. It's like slapping him in the face. Like that. It's good to set up other kicks. Now I'm with the left lead here, but shortly you'll see me switch. You're going to be able to switch your leads, and that's something that you'll acquire later on. But you don't want to have to always bring your leg back to where it started. You're going to be able to switch your leads. Here's the heel push. Very strong kick because you're making contact with the heel. You can see that my student here is fairly large, and I'm still able to move him with my heel kick. You have to be quite flexible, especially in the hamstring, to be able to utilize this kick. It's a very strong kick. Make sure you keep the kicking leg loose. Don't be tight. Make sure the knee's loose. Remember, before doing any of these kicks, you want to do the stretches from tape 1. Now here's a combination of all the kicks I've just shown you. Just like the punches, you've got to really work on each of the individual kicks prior to trying to use them in combinations. Now notice how I don't run before I do any of the kicks. It comes right from where I'm standing. I might switch my lead, but that's it. And if you miss, don't lose your balance. That's an easy time to do so. Anticipate that you might not make contact. Keep your balance at all times. In the Muay Thai round kick, you've got to turn your body. You've got to pivot on the balls of your feet. That's where your power and speed is going to come from. Pivot and twist. Pivot and twist. That's how you launch your leg up, and that's how you're going to turn your body. Get your momentum going, overcome the inertia. Pivot and twist. Now, there's many different types of round kicks, but they all have this in common. Let's watch the students. Now, I'm going to correct Nick. I want him to twist a little more with that front foot. Turn the hips more also. There's other types of round kicks we'll get to later, but they all start with this basic element. Pivot and twist. You've really got to get this down before you can go any farther. Got to twist your body into the kick. All the power comes from the body. Turn the hip. Now we're going to break the kick down a little bit. I'm going to show you just the first part of it. We're not going to go all the way through. Just going to come around part way. Going to get up on the ball of the foot and turn. Just halfway. Once you get the pivot and twist down so you can launch yourself, this is the next step. Get the leg up and come around. Don't try to extend the knee, just bring the hip around. Just like this. Step in and launch it. Get on the ball of this foot and pivot. Pivot. Bring that leg around. Let's watch the students once again. Turn. Turn. Now, if you watch carefully, you'll see that Walter, he has his leg locked, his knee locked straighter than Nick's. And that's what you want to do. It takes some time to develop this, but that's the proper technique. Nick is bending his planted leg more than I'd like. It's like doing it in slow motion. Then later you want to add the power, add the speed. And your momentum will carry you around. Now we're going to move on to kicking with the other leg. If you're right-handed, it's harder to develop your left leg kick. And you do this after you switch leads. Everything's the same though, it's reversed. But you've got to work on both from the very beginning if you want to be able to develop both kicks. Keep the planted leg straight, lock that knee out as you come up. Turn the hips and shoulders. Watch the students. I think you'll notice that neither of them are as strong with their left kick as they are with their right. And this is a natural occurrence. But with either leg, when you launch that back leg, you want to bring the shin bone up at a 45-degree angle. Not straight up, but at 45 degrees. And then you're going to turn it over at the hip. Power comes from the back leg, no matter which leg's in the back. Launch yourself up. Got to turn that hip over. Be on that toe of that planted foot. Remember, your power comes from your hips, your body. Now when you make contact, it's with the shin bone, right at the edge of it, like a knife blade. That's what you want to kick with. That's what's going to do the most damage. Now at first, it doesn't feel good to kick with the bone. You've got to condition the shin bone, and we do that by kicking the bag. In Muay Thai, we divide the body into 3 target areas. There are 3 areas you aim your kicks. From below the waist to the legs, then from the waist up to below the neck, and then from the neck up to the head. These are the 3 zones that we divide the body into. Now for each of these zones, the legs, the body, and from the neck up, there are different kicks that we use. For the legs, you can kick inside the leg, outside the leg. We also kick both legs, or the cross leg kick. and we kick to the body, there's different targets on the body that we also kick to. Sometimes to the ribs, higher or lower, and then of course above the shoulders to the neck and head. Now there's a misconception about Muay Thai that many people have, and that is that there's only one or two kicks. But in actuality there are many, many more. They're just slight variations of the basic kick. And you've got to learn that first before you can learn the variations. I'm now going to start to show you just some of the variations that are possible from the basic kick. First we'll do the outside kick. This is outside to the leg. This is your target area right here, the muscle along the outside. You're going to step in, whip your leg, and turn your hip over. Do it again. When using this kick, you want to stay low, so bend the planted leg's knee a little. This will also help you to turn and will keep you farther away from your opponent. Think of it as sitting down a little and then turning over. See how I twist my foot? My body will follow. Twist and everything follows. Same on the other side. Got to bend that knee and twist in. Allows you to sit down. Same on this side. Twist and turn. It's like a soccer style kick in some respects. Alright, now I'm going to show you this kick, this same kick, with a partner. Kicking to the outside of the leg. Your target is from below the hip to above the ankle. Now when working out with a partner like this, you're never going to do it full power. This is to practice the mechanics of the kick and to get the movements down. Then later, you're going to work with the pads and try to get the power going and the speed going. But this drill is just to work on the mechanics and to work on judging the distance between you and an opponent. How close he is, how close you want to be. Remember, don't kick your partner hard. Now let's watch Walter. We'll take turns kicking each other. Step in, turn and kick. You can see that when I step in, I'm twisting, bending my knee slightly and turning my hip in. Watch again. Now I'm using the ankle. This allows me to stay farther away. You want to do this against an opponent who has a long reach. Now I catch Walter's leg and I check to make sure he's in proper position. Again, I want to make sure everything's where it should be. He's pivoting his foot, he's turning the hip over. The next kick I want to show you is the inside kick. Like the outside kick, the target is from the ankle up to the thigh on either leg, including the knee. Now you'll cause the most damage if you kick the knee. If you kick it hard enough, you can cause the joint to separate. So if you really want to cause some damage, kick the knee joint. When using the inside kick, you'll usually kick your opponent's front leg because that's the leg that's closest to you. Let's start with the footwork first. You're going to slide your back leg up to just behind the front leg, then step over and twist both. Pivot on both feet. Again, slide the leg up, step over, pivot and twist. You're putting yourself in position so that you can kick your opponent's inside leg with your front leg, your lead leg. Now just like the outside kick, we're going to pivot on our planted foot and bend the knee. Pivot and bend the knee. That allows you to turn your hip over. Now what this kick allows you to do is to stay out of your opponent's reach. You're moving out and away from him and coming in from a different angle. Let's see how it works. Let's apply it here to Walter.
ด้านนี้คือด้านในนะครับคือส่วนนี้คือด้านในเราจะเตะส่วนนี้
Again, your target area is from the ankle to the thigh. When you're working with a partner, you don't want to kick him in the knee. This is just to practice it once again.
หนีออกมา
Watch out for the right hand. That's why we move out.
ทำให้ดูนะ move hand up
Watch how I do it to Walter.
ถ้าเรากล้าเข้าไปเตะอย่างนี้เขาจะต่อยหน้า
See, if I come right in, straight in,
ต่อยหน้าเรา
I'm very vulnerable to being countered.
จะหนีออกจากหมัดขวาที่เขาต่อย you can punch my face
Instead, I move out and away and I lean my body out also at the same time.
move นะฮะ move ออกไปโอเคนะครับให้วอเตอร์เตะนะครับเตะ inside kick
Watch how the footwork works in action. Now, when Walter does it, I catch him and check him.
move move turn your hip more more
I want him to turn his knee more. That's it. See how he leans out also? It's very hard for me to punch him when he leans out like that. The footwork involved in this technique is more complicated than some of the other kicks. Even an experienced student like Walter will sometimes have trouble doing it. It takes some time to learn. Watch closely. The next variation on the round kick that I'd like to show you is the cross kick. Once again, your target is the leg, from above the ankle to below the waist. This kick is different though. Your leg is going to go up and down. Bring it up like a regular kick, but then turn your hip over and strike down before you make impact. Bring it up at a 45 degree, then turn the hip over and bring the leg down. This can confuse your opponent. He may think you're trying to kick him in the body. You're going to use the instep, come down. Watch. I step in, bring the hips forward and over. A lot of power in this kick. I whip my leg around. Now from the other side. Same thing. Like the other round kicks, I'm pivoting on the ball of my foot, and I want to bend my planted leg's knee slightly. I bring the kicking leg up at a 45 degree, and then I turn it over. It's a little clearer, I think, if I slow it down. Watch again. That's what you should do also. Slow it down and then speed it up. Try to get the motions down first and then gradually add speed and power. And if you kick someone in the thigh with this kick, it'll hurt. Now watch while I work with Walter. See how I come down on his thigh? Now like the other variations of the round kicks, you want to do it softly with a partner. Although with this particular kick, it can still hurt quite a bit. Once again, I hold Walter and check him. I want him to turn it over more. Now Walter's using the shin here. He's coming down and turning it over. If you want to keep more distance, you can use the instep or the ankle. Turn that hip over and drive the knee through. Up at a steep angle and turn it over. The next variation on the round kick that I'd like to show you is the both leg kick. The target here is the thighs of both legs. It's like the cross kick, only you're going to kick both thighs of your opponent simultaneously. If you do it properly, you can knock him down by kicking both legs out from underneath him. Both legs at the same time, and he'll fall right into you. Now, if your opponent has a right lead, you're going to want to kick with your left leg. Like that.
ถ้าเข้ามวยซ้าย
And if he has a left lead,
ผมจะเตะรวบ
you're going to want to reverse it to kick both legs at the same time.
กับ cross kick อยู่นะฮะก้าวเข้าไปปั๊บเหมือนกันเลยนะฮะปั๊บอีกครั้งหนึ่งเตะ
Step in deep and twist.
ปั๊บอยู่นะปั๊บปั๊บโอเคครับนี่สำหรับ cross kick
Once again, it'll be clearer for you when I show you how to do it with a partner. Now this can be thought as a cross kick with a different target also. Watch. I'm going to kick him in both legs. Now Walter has a left lead, so I want to kick him with my left leg. Just like that. Bang. It's very similar to the cross kick. Watch it from this angle. Walter steps in and kicks both my legs. He keeps his body out and leans out also, and I could fall right into him if he kicks me hard enough. Bang. I'm going to catch his leg again, make sure everything's in the right spot. Now you want to step out at a 45-degree angle before you kick. Step out like this. Again, out at a 45-degree angle, approximately. Move your body out. Don't come in, you'll get punched by either hand. Once again, step out and kick. Now all of these kicks to the leg have a similar purpose. If you kick your opponent often enough in the leg, they'll get sore and he won't be able to move, at which point you will have a great advantage. We're now ready to move on to the step-in kick. As I said before, in Muay Thai, we divide the target area into the leg area, above the legs to the shoulders, and then above the neck. The step-in kick is the first kick that we're going to use that goes above the legs. You strike between the hips and the shoulders generally. Now, as the name implies, we're going to step in with this kick. You want to aim for the ribs. If your opponent starts to block with his arms, you'll kick his arm a lot and his arm will get tired and he won't be able to punch. So it's just as effective if you kick the arm as it is the ribs. Now when we step in, we're going to bridge the distance between ourselves and our opponent. It's a good way to get close and then attack. When you step in, make sure you keep your hands up and don't drop your guard. Step in, transferring the power off the back of the foot. Once again, we're going to bend our knee a little and come forward. Let your momentum carry you forward. And then kick. When you come in, bring your shoulders in. Bring your upper torso in. Lean in. That'll help your momentum bring your body in. Don't kick, don't lean back and kick like that. You'll lose your balance and lose your power. Step in and kick. Always keep your guard hand up, the opposite side that you kick. You don't want to get kicked or punched while you're kicking. Your opponent's going to try to counter. Always keep it up. Same thing on the other side. Just like this. If you're going to kick on the other side, keep the other hand up. Left kick, right hand stays up. Again, transfer your power from the back leg. Open the ankle up, get on the ball of the foot, then kick. Pivot on that foot. Watch my planted foot. Same thing on this leg. On the ball of the foot, open the ankle, bend the knee slightly, and then extend. When we extend, we're going to lock the knee. Unlike the other kicks I showed you prior, you want to have the knee locked and be on the ball of the foot. Bring the shin up at a 45-degree angle, and then turn it over. Up and over at 45 degrees. Not a roundhouse kick. Don't swing it out like a bat. Bring it up to 45 and then turn it over. That's quicker and you'll have more power. Now, to practice the step-in kick, it's very important that you do what I did in the previous segment. You want to do it on your own without hitting a target. That'll help you develop your balance and coordination. You want to make sure that you stand on the ball of the foot, bend the knee slightly when you launch, and extend the knee, lock it, turn the shoulders, turn the hips, work on all the elements without hitting a target. This will enable you to perfect your kick so that when you work with a partner and when you kick the bag, you'll be able to kick through the bag. Step in and launch yourself. Bend that knee slightly and then lock it. Turn the hip. Turn the shoulder. You need your whole body to come around and pivot on that planted foot so that all your power will come through. It's very important that you do this correctly. Now watch how I work out with my partner, my student Walter. My knees locked as I make impact. I'm on the ball of my foot. This is the way that you check to make sure you're in the right position at impact. You have your partner hold your other leg. See how the knee's locked? I'm on the ball of the foot. Got to turn the hip over. Now look at Walter. He should be on the ball of his foot, and the knee should be locked, and turn the hip more. The hand's by the face like it's supposed to be. He's dropping the other arm down. Again. It's hard to maintain that position in a static situation. It's easier when you're doing it dynamically. But by doing this, you're going to develop your balance and program your muscles to be in the right position. The next kick that I want to show you is a semi-knee kick. It's similar in some respects to the step-in kick in that you're going to step in and bring your body weight, your momentum, transferring your power in. But instead of extending the leg out, you're going to kick with either the shin or the knee. Which part of your leg that makes contact with the opponent will be determined by how far away they are. If they're a little farther or moving away from you, it's going to be the shin. If they're closer or moving in, you'll catch them with the knee. This is very good against someone who's got good hands because there's one other difference between this and the step-in kick, and that is you're going to bend slightly at the waist away from the opponent. Watch while I do it. I come around, but I don't extend the knee out. I keep it bent. It's very good against someone who's got good hands because you're able to attack them while moving your head and your torso away from them. The shin still comes up at a 45-degree angle. You still turn the hip over. And we're pivoting on that planted foot, locking that knee out. Locking the planted leg's knee. Keeping the opposite hand up for our guard, throwing the hand on the side that we're kicking back to get our momentum going. Bring the shin up at 45 degrees, turn it over. Like that. Once again, I want to show you how to do this with a partner. And to practice this kick with a partner, what we do is we hold the leg and look to see that we're at the right position at the point of impact. Now watch. My knee's bent and I'm hitting with the shin here. That's the knee. That's the knee. Watch from this angle. See how I bend him away from the waist? You can also vary how much you jump in or step in depending on how far away the opponent is. Walter's in good position here. That was a good one. He moved me back a little. This is an important variation on your basic round kick.
Up the toe. Good.
If your opponent's expecting just a regular step-in kick, this will surprise him. And again, it's very good against someone who has good hand technique. You want to watch your opponent and figure out what kind of strategy you want to use based on his strengths. The next kick I want to show you is called the step-back kick. Now, this is a kick that you can use if the opponent's attacking and coming in at you. You move back and away from him at first, and then you're going to be able to kick at a 45-degree again. This is a good kick to use if your opponent has a lead that doesn't match with yours. You want to be able to kick his strong side. Be able to switch your lead and then kick him to his power side. Move back, switch, and kick. Come up at a 45-degree again and go to his strong side. If he's got a left lead, you kick him on the right. And the opposite applies also. If he comes in with strong hands, this is a good kick. But you have to be quick to do this because he's going to look to get you. You've got to get the basic footwork down before you can try it. Watch this part of the tape several times to really understand what I'm doing here. This is somewhat complicated, so I'm going to go over it again. If your opponent's strong side is opposite your lead, then that's when you want to use this kick. I'm now going to show you the step-back kick with Walter. Part of the step-back kick that I just showed you involves a switch kick also. These can be used singularly or in conjunction with one another. Now the target is once again the torso, ribs, body, or the arm that they're protecting. Now first I'll demonstrate it if I have a left lead. I step back, I switch, and I kick. It's my left lead against Walter's left lead. Now I'm going to switch. I have a right lead now. Walter still has the left lead. The footwork involved here is quite complicated. You've got to really work at it to become proficient. Now remember, like all the other kicks, when you kick, you've got to keep your hands up. Opposite side. I kick with the right, keep the left hand up. Kick with the left, keep the right hand up. Now part of the step-back kick I've been doing involves a switch kick, which Walter will now demonstrate for you. This is just a straight switch kick without stepping back. Watch what he does, how he switches which leg he'll kick with. He's got a left lead. He switches back and kicks with that left leg. Moves it to the back position so he can use all his power. Again, this is some more complicated footwork. It's a more advanced kick. It takes time to develop it. Now, I'm keeping my hand up. See, I'm catching his kick with my hand? Right there. Got my guard up. Now, if I don't do that, he'll kick me in the neck and he can knock me out. So you've got to keep your hand up to protect against this kick. Now I want to talk about moving and kicking. When I say move, we're going to move out at a 45-degree angle. This differs from the stepping kick where you step straight in. We're going to move out to the side. Don't step straight in on this kick. We're going to step out either to my left or to my right. I step out to the left at 45 degrees instead of stepping straight in. Not straight in, out to a 45-degree angle, or out to this side. Watch. I step out, 45 degrees. My opponent, if he's coming in, this is a great kick to use if he's coming and attacking me. Because now I'm out to the side. Same thing on this side. He's coming straight in. I'm avoiding him, and now I can kick him. It also works if he's not moving. If we're toe-to-toe, and I step out, now I've got an angle on him. He's right there. I can kick him. The kick is very similar to the others. Bring the leg up at a 45 degree and turn it over. He's got to make the adjustment in his defense because now I'm not where I was. I'm at his side. This is a great tactic to use in the ring if your opponent is attacking you. It's also very good for self-defense. You're toe-to-toe with somebody in the street, they're coming at you, you step out to the side and then kick. This has two advantages. One, if they're attacking you, they don't have the same target as before, and now you have a different angle of attack on them. so it hurts them and it helps you.
ขาหนึ่งก้าวฮึบ
It allows you to switch.
ก้าวฮึบฮึบฮึบ
You can go to either side.
ความแตกต่างระหว่างก้าว
Again,
ไปเตะ
it's not a straight step-in kick.
เคลื่อนตัวออกไป
We go out to either side.
ก้าวไปเตะไปด้านนี้
It's similar in that we're moving forward, bring our momentum forward, but instead of straight in, I go to the side of the target.
จะฝึกกับคู่ให้ดูนะครับว่าคู่จะเตะ
Now once again, I want to show you this with one of my students.
ครับ
I think everything's clearer when we do this.
เริ่มนิดนึงถ้าผมจะเตะซ้ายผมจะเตะขวาครับผมจะเตะขวา
Now I'm going to transfer my power from my back leg, move myself to the left,
ไปด้านนี้
and I'll be able to kick Walter.
ผมจะก้าวไปด้านนี้
Or I go out to the other side. Same thing. Then I kick with my left leg instead of the right leg.
ช้าๆก้าวขึ้นถ้าเตะซ้ายนะฮะก้าว
I move to the right, I kick with the left.
นะ
I move to the left, I kick with the right.
นะผมจะขึ้นให้เร็วนะครับนะ
You're moving out at a 45-degree angle, approximately.
นะครับง่ายๆช้าๆ
You're going to make minor adjustments depending on how you start, the initial starting point.
ก้าวก้าว
I can do a regular roundhouse kick here, or I can do a semi-knee kick.
นะครับผมจะทำให้เร็วๆนะ
Both can be initiated from the move and kick maneuver.
ก้าวโอเคเรารู้ว่าต้องคิกอีกเตะฮึบฮึบฮึบ
Walter's doing the same thing here. He's stepping out to the right, kicking with the left.
ฮึบฮึบฮึบ
And this also works. If you notice, I'm stepping back a little bit, so this allows Walter to bridge the distance. Instead of coming straight in at me, he's coming in at an angle.
ฮึบฮึบฮึบ
Now this is more sophisticated and more advanced technique than just stepping straight in. First you want to learn how to step straight in and kick, then work on coming at an angle.
เห็นไหมครับเวลาการเตะก้าวเข้าไปเตะนั้นก้าวไป
Again, out at a 45-degree angle to either side.
เตะขวา
Don't be predictable.
ก้าวไปด้านซ้ายเตะเห็นไหมฮะ
Step in, transfer your power, use your momentum to get your body in.
เตะขวาก้าวซ้ายเตะซ้ายก้าวไปด้านขวาโอเคครับทีนี้เรา
The next kick that I want to show you is called the neck kick.
คือการเตะ
This is a high kick directed at the neck. This is our third target area. As we said before, we have the legs, the body, and kicking above the neck.
เพราะตรงคอเรานี่
Now there are a lot of nerves and a lot of arteries in the neck, so if you're able to execute this kick, you'll do a lot of damage to your opponent.
ในสมองนี่คือทั้งเนิร์ฟ
You want to use the ankle to make contact with the neck.
ฉะนั้นเรามีเตะ
But be careful when executing this kick, because you're kicking so high, you leave yourself exposed to a counter from your
เรา
opponent.
เริ่มชกนะฮะแล้วกรรมการเขาบอกว่าชกเราจะเตะกาดก่อนเลย
You want to be quick when you do this.
เตะ
Don't be
เพื่อให้เขา
slow.
รู้ว่าโอเคถ้าเราเข้าไปเนี่ยเขาจะ
And look for the right time and the right opening to attempt
เตะให้
it.
เร็วเตะให้แรงอย่าเตะเบา
Now sometimes when you do this kick,
เนี่ยเม็ด
you're not going to make contact with the neck, you'll hit your opponent in his guard, in his gloves. And when that happens, we call that the guard kick. That's good also though, it'll throw him off.
เนี่ยหวังเตะคอเขา
Right in the neck.
จะพยายาม
That's the best.
เตะกาดให้เขากลัว
And if he's coming in, you catch him as he comes in, you're going to knock him out for sure.
กรรมการบอกชกผมจะกล้าเข้าไปผมจะขึ้นผมจะหวังเตะคอเขาครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
Now I'm showing you this kick last because it's a very hard kick to develop.
จะเตะกาดทีนี้เตะกาด
It'll take some time.
ด้วยตัวเองหรือผม
Now if you're working out by yourself, this is a particularly hard kick to develop. It's very hard to keep your balance as you spin all the way around when you shadow box this kick. If you have a bag, that makes it a little easier. But it's really best to work on this kick with somebody else, with a partner. Now if you're in a fight in the ring, the best time to use this kick is right after the ref says box. Do it right away if you can. That's your best chance. Now watch how I work on it with Walter. That would be a guard kick. I came right by him. Takes a lot of flexibility to execute this kick properly. So the guard kick is our first kick to the neck area. Again, a good time to use it is at right at the beginning of a fight. Break your opponent's rhythm and concentration. Now the next kick that I want to talk to the neck area is called the ankle cross. To perform this kick, what you're going to do is bend your knee a little and come in. Get your momentum going forward like this. Gives you more power. The footwork here is similar to the step-in kick. You're going to step in, bridge the distance, move closer to your opponent, but now the target is the neck area. How high you kick will depend on how flexible you are. You might kick your opponent's shoulder if he's much taller than you. You've got to make the adjustment. Now I have another kick to show you that's directed to the neck. This is the moving kick. It's like the one we did before to the body. You move out in an angle, but this time it's to the neck. We're going to move out at the ball of our foot, bend the knee, and spring up. Elevate. It's very similar to the moving kick to the body before. Crouch down and spring yourself up. You can do it to the left or to the right. So now you've seen the different kicks we have to the neck. The guard kick is where you just stand and kick. The ankle cross or the moving kick is when you're moving and then kicking. So these are just some of the neck kicks that we have in Muay Thai. Once again, I'm going to work with two of my students. I have a less experienced student, Nick, and I have a more experienced student, Walter. Now watch how I work with them and correct them. You can do this whether you're teaching someone or you're just working out with someone as a partner. Nick's off to a good start, but I want him to turn his hip more. Turn it over. He needs to pivot more on that front foot in order to be able to do that. To get that pivot going, turn the shoulders. And he needs to come off the back foot. Now I'm turning his shoulders for him so he gets that feeling. If you don't turn your hip, you're not going to have any power. You've got to keep the other hand up while he kicks. And if you throw the hand back, that helps you get the momentum going. That's better. Now we're going to watch Walter kick. I want you to watch this closely and see if you can pick up the difference between a newer student and a more experienced student. Worked with Walter for about 4 years. He's had a couple fights in the ring. You should be able to see the difference. He's quicker, he'll have more power. Watch. He pivots a lot more on that front foot, on the planted foot. Watch how he turns his foot. Brings the leg straight up. He keeps his right hand up, the power comes from the back leg. Puts the back hand down and turns his shoulders so the rest of the body follows. Just like punching, your power comes from your legs. Strong kick. I'm now going to show you a more advanced way to work with the kick pads. I'm not going to hold them together, but rather I'm going to work in a more dynamic way so that Walter can't stand still. He's got to move. This will help him work on his movement and kicking at the same time. Now I'm working with Walter more in a sparring sense. I don't have the pads together the whole time. I bring them together as I see his leg come up. And I push him off me with my free hand so that he has to come in and kick me. He can't stay still. And I throw a kick at him once in a while so he doesn't get lazy and sloppy. You've got to keep moving so they keep moving. Don't go in the same direction. Go clockwise for a while, then go counterclockwise. Move them back, let them come in. Keep them moving all the time. See if they flinch. Try to fake them. Now Walter's kicking whenever he wants to here. This is good training for the kicker. It's also good training for the pad holder. He's got to see the leg coming up and move the pads together in time to catch the kick. It's important that you watch him closely and you give him feedback. You can also learn how to make your kick better by watching them closely. See what they're doing right, see what they're not doing right. Try to learn. Pay attention. Just don't hold the pads. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to kick the pads with more power. Make sure when you're kicking, you keep the opposite side hand up. If I kick with my right leg, I'm going to keep my left hand up. Keep my guard up at all times. It's to block any kick from my opponent in case he tries to kick me while I kick him. Now I want to pivot on my planted foot. Make sure the kicking side stays loose. And launch yourself off that back foot. Launch and twist. Pivot the front foot. This allows your hips to come through. Allows all your power to come through. Launch yourself off that back foot. Bring your power forward. You want all your momentum to bring you forward. Watch how I do it. Bring the power straight forward. I pivot off that front foot. Turn the hip over. Turn the whole body. The shoulders turn. Everything turns. Now from the other side. It'll take some time before you are able to kick from both sides like this. Just work with it. It also takes time to be quick. You've got to launch yourself off the back foot and twist on that front foot. Pivot on it. But get all your momentum turning so you can be quick and powerful. It's not an easy kick to learn. It takes some time. Study this section of the tape closely. Just pivoting on the front foot's not enough. You've got to really launch yourself off that back foot in order to turn yourself with force and power. Now it's time to show you some knee techniques. We use the knee when we're in closer range than we would where we kick. It's similar to the distinction between punching and elbows. It's a closer range weapon, and like elbows, it's a very powerful weapon. You use the top of the knee sometimes, so we're going to start with, is using the top of it and bringing it straight up. Now, like the elbow techniques, knee techniques are very good in self-defense situations. Someone comes in close to you, you feel threatened, you want to protect yourself. A knee technique is a very good weapon to have. Now, the first technique I want to show you is a straight knee. First, assume the on-guard position. Going to do it with the back leg. Bring it forward and out. Bring the hips forward. Toes point down, not up. Toes point straight down. Protect the toes, make the legs stronger. You don't want to jam your toes or break your toes. Straight forward. Bring the hips through and bend back from the waist. Now if you want a knee with the other leg, you just switch and come through. You always want a knee with the leg that's in the back. Sometimes you'll have to switch. Bring the hips forward and through on either side. Drop the arm on the side that you're kneeing. Keep the chin down. Keep it in tight and bring the other arm across the chest to protect against your opponent countering.
เข่าซ้าย
And elevate on the planted foot. Get on the ball of that foot. Get your momentum and your weight going forward.
เข่าขวานะฮะ
Bring it through.
ครับอันนี้คือเบสิกการเข่า
Now when doing the straight knee,
ที่จะแนะนำคือเข่าตรงนะฮะ
you want to bring the leg
ตรงอย่างนี้
straight up and out. Try to make it long.
คือเวลาเราชก
Bridge the
กันเนี่ย
distance.
เวลาคู่ต่อสู้เข้ามา
To do this, you're going to bring your hips forward and push out. Your target area is the stomach.
ง่าย
Right out.
เก้า
Now we'll cover more of the application in tape 4. Right now you need to develop the technique.
เก้าเก้า
Straight out.
เก้า
It's important that you learn how to come out with it. Don't keep your knee close to your body. You want to be able to strike far away from your body.
ขึ้นเก้ายกเท้าขึ้นมา
Bring the leg right back and reload.
ให้เข่าที่มันยาว
Straight out.
นะฮะทำไง
That'll have the most power.
ก็คือโดยการเอ็นตรงหลังนิด
Lean back. Adds to the power.
เอ็น
Drive the hips through.
มุกฮิปออกไปห้า
Drive the hips through.
ครั้งหนึ่งนะมุกเข้าไปฮึบมุกเข้าไปฮึบเอาซ้ายเหมือนกันมุกเข้าไปฮึบมุกเข้าไปฮึบ
Straight knee is your most basic knee. It's the first one you need to learn.
You the hold the knee for me hold
Now I'm going to work on it with Walter.
ครับ
See how I make my knee move away from my body? I drive my hips through.
เห็นนี้ครับ
Walter does the same.
เข่ายกขึ้นมานะครับโอเคง่ายๆอยู่ด้านนี้เวลาเขานะครับเขาจะก้าวเข้าไป
Bring the hips through. That's where your power is going to come from.
เห็นไหมครับก้าวตรงๆนะฮะ
He's got his toes pointed down.
ครั้งหนึ่งเล็บนี่เล็บนี่ฮึบฮึบเห็นไหมครับ
He switched the leads there, came with the back knee.
เข่านี่เวลาเขาเอาแทงเข้าไปทำให้มันยาวที่สุดเพราะเข่าเรานี่มัน
It's important to drive straight through with it. Be strong.
มีน้ำหนักมากกว่าครับนี่ฮึบฮึบ
Good. That was a good one.
ฮึบมีเล็บฮึบดูนะครับดูจะเข่าให้ดูนะทำนี่อยู่โอเคดีอยู่ฮึบ
You want to lean the body away so your opponent can't punch you when you knee him. Lean your head out of his reach if you can. It's the best way to practice the knees with a partner. I have two more knees I want to show you now. The diagonal knee and the curved knee.
เฉียงกับเข่า
Diagonal goes across, curve goes out.
ตีเข้าด้านนี้นะ
Your target is the side of the stomach, below the ribs. The straight knee goes right to the middle of the stomach. These go on the outside.
ก้าวตรง
The diagonal knee is done across your body at your opponent.
ซ้ายก้าวเฉียง
From either leg.
นิดเดียวนะเฉียงนิดเดียว
Straight across.
จะโค้งด้าน
And the
ข้าง
curve goes out and around, like this.
ข้างนะฮะโค้งด้านข้าง
Now both of these knee techniques are used in the clinching.
เข่าเฉียง
It depends on your opponent's defense and what opening you see. Sometimes you can go inside with diagonal,
โค้งดูง่ายๆกับคู่นะฮะ
or you go outside with the curved knee.
กับบอลเตอร์นะครับบอลตะคู่โอเคครับ
I think the distinction will be clearer when I show you with my partner.
เข่าเฉียงดูนะเข่าเฉียงเข่าเฉียง
Diagonal comes inside.
เข่าเฉียงเข่าเฉียงเข่าเฉียงนี่เข่าโค้งนะฮะเข่าโค้งจะโค้งไปด้านนี้นะครับโค้งไปด้านนี้
And the curved knee comes out and around.
จะโค้งไปด้านนี้ดูนิดนึงนะฮะจะโค้งนิดนึงเข่าโค้งเข่าโค้ง
Out and around.
เข่าโค้ง
When I say diagonal, I'm going diagonally across his body.
เข่าเฉียงนี่ขึ้นนิดเดียวฮะ
When I curve out and around.
เข่าโค้งจะโค้งไปด้านข้างเข่าโค้งจะตีด้านข้างด้านนี้ตีด้านนี้นะ
It's
ฮะ
very tender right here. It's a good place to knee.
เข่าตรงตีด้านนี้เข่าโค้งตีด้านนี้
It's the area you want to aim for.
นะฮะได้ก็หน่อยฮับมาหาได้ก็หน่อยฮับมาหาเกิบฮับมาหาเกิบฮับมาหาต่างนี้นะเข้ามาด้านนี้ตุ้มเก็บเกิบฮับมาหา
Curving out and around.
ฮับมา
Out and around.
ได้ก็หน่อยฮับมาหา
Now when you see this used in a clinch, you'll understand why you need both techniques. Depending on what your opponent does with his knees to block you,
จะโชว์อีกครั้งหนึ่ง
you'll use one or the other.
เกิบนี่เกิบนี่ดูด้านนี้นะฮะเกิบนี่
We'll get to that in tape 4. For now, just work on these techniques.
เฉียงฮึบเข่าเฉียงเฉียงเข่าเฉียงด้านขวานะฮะเข่าเฉียงฮึบเข่าเฉียงเคิร์ฟ
Alright, I have one more knee technique to show you on this tape. It's the cross knee. This one's aimed for the thigh. Come in from different angles. It targets the thigh. You want to be able to use both of your knees in the cross knee technique and attack your opponent's thighs. The cross knee is a very effective tool. Similar to the kicking in the thigh, if you bruise the thigh enough, you'll immobilize your opponent, and he won't be able to move, and he'll be a sitting duck just waiting for you. So we have the straight knee, diagonal knee, the curved knee, and the cross knee. And these are the knee techniques I wanted to cover in this tape. We'll show applications in tape 4. Hello, and welcome to Muay Thai Fighting Techniques. This is tape 4. In the prior 3 tapes, we cover the fundamentals, including conditioning. Before attempting the techniques in this tape, you want to make sure you have the basics down. You want to be in good shape and have started to work on the combinations. In this tape, we show you how to apply these techniques in the ring. Now, this is just a sample of some of the fighting techniques that we have in Muay Thai. Now, obviously, in one tape, I'm not going to be able to cover for you all the techniques that we use in the ring. In addition, once you start spending time in the ring, you will start to learn on your own and develop your own combinations and applications. Every fighter that you'll work out with is different, and you should try to learn something from each one of them. Every trainer that you work with will have different things to offer you. Have an open mind and try to develop things on your own. But while you're in the ring, pay attention to what goes on. The ring is a great place to learn. As we went over in tape 1, before you work out, it's imperative that you warm up. You want to have the joints loose, the muscles warm. This is to prevent injuries. If you just jump into working out, you're going to get hurt. Don't forget to jump rope. You want to stretch out. Make sure you're limber. All the things we went over in tape 1. Then we're going to start the shadow box. At first, go slowly, be loose, don't be tight. Don't do the full range of motion, maybe 3/4, and not full speed either. But shortly after I start, I'm going to start going faster and doing the full range of motion. Now you want to do this for 3 rounds before you work out. Shadow box on your own. Feel what you're doing, be aware of what you're doing. It's time to get focused and concentrate. And do it for 3 3-minute rounds. Use all your tools, all your techniques that you've developed. Get yourself ready to go. Always do this before working with any of the equipment. The heavy bag, the small bag, the folks gloves, the kick pads. This is your preparation before you work out. I'm using all of my techniques here. If there's some things that you might want to work on, especially this particular day, concentrate on those. If you want to work on your elbows today, make sure you start with that. If you have a mirror available to you, it's good to use a mirror, and you can see yourself. Alright, now I'm ready to work out. The first thing I want to work with you on is how to use the kick pads in the ring. I'm going to show you how to use the kick pads to work on the leg, the body, and the neck area. One of my students will be joining me. Watch how he holds the pads. I'm going to bring my leg up at 45 degrees. Remember everything from the other tapes.
เคนะครับ
This is a more dynamic training technique, though, more of a fighting technique. Okay. Leg, body, head. You see how Walter drops the pad to work for the legs, comes up with the body kicks, and then brings him higher for the neck kicks. Now Walter is just showing me the pads, and I'm responding and reacting. When I see it low, I kick low, body, and then higher. This works on your timing and your reactions. As difficult as it is to kick these pads, it also takes a great deal of skill to hold the pads properly like this. So that is how you develop the leg kick, the body kick, and the neck kick with the kick pads. Now, in the tape 3, I introduced you to the knee techniques. Here we're going to use the kick pads to develop them more. The straight knee, diagonal knee. I just introduced them before. I'm going to show you now how to work on them, make them stronger. Remember, when you knee, have more power. I'm going to bring your hips in. Using the pads will help you develop a strong knee technique. Bring the legs straight up. Don't forget to point the toes down to protect them, make the legs strong. See how I drive my hips forward? I stand on the ball of the planted foot, and I'll pivot off it to get more extension. Now I'm starting to clinch. Standing on the balls of my feet, making my back and shoulders tight, and I bring my body close to the opponent, not far away. This allows me to control him and move him around. Be close. The inclination is to keep yourself far away. You want to knee and then come in. Move him around, yank on his neck, pull him down simultaneously, and then push off. I'm now going to start to go into some specific techniques that you can use against opponent's weapons. The first I'm going to show you is if your opponent has a strong jab. First I will show you some evasive maneuvers and then some counter techniques that you can use subsequent to these evasive techniques. First you must identify if your opponent has a good jab. Then you want to evade it. You might step out. Watch, I'll show you. The first technique I'm going to show you is when the jab comes in, you catch it. Catch it and step out. Move away, watch for the right hand. He might be setting you up. I catch it, I move out. I keep my elbow up high to protect my cheek and my head, and the other hand stays up also, and I move away from him to evade him. Transfer my power out to this foot so I can come in. I'll show you the counter later. Work this drill over and over. Alright, that's the first one. Now I'm going to show you the second option you have if your opponent has a good jab. I'm going to use the right hand to block it, and then step out. Right hand to block it and step out. Now you want to have both of these tools available to you. Just don't work on one of them. And again, watch for the right hand. He could be setting you up with the left, so he can use the right. This is where you have to start thinking. It's not a matter of just using the techniques. Now we have a third technique we use. We lean back or slide out a little, depending on your opponent's reach and if he's sliding in or if he's just standing there when he throws the jab. Make the adjustment. I lean out, I slide out. Depends on the situation. Be able to do both of them. So those are 3 evasive techniques
กับเปลี่ยน
that we have if your opponent has a good jab.
ดึงตัวออกโยกออก
Now,
กันนะฮะ
off of these evasive techniques, we have counters.
หนีพ้นจากเขาแล้วนี่เราต้อง
And while the evasive techniques are important to learn,
เราอาจจะบุกด้วยหมัดนะฮะตัว
you
นี้
use those to build the counters upon.
หนีเขาแล้ว
Create an opening for yourself. You're going to catch them, and you can come in with the right hook or a left hook.
ช้าๆนะฮะเอามาดิ
Look for the opening.
ช้าๆนะฮะถ้าเราก้าวเราปั้ง
I catch.
เราสามารถปล่อยขา
I can throw the overhook.
นะฮะหรือก้าวปั๊บ
I catch. I come with a hook low to the body.
ได้เลยนะฮะดูง่ายๆปั๊บ
Now, the hook is a good punch to use here because if you're catching your opponent's hand, you're in close.
ปั๊บฮุกลำตัวนะฮะฮุกลำตัวต่อยที่หน้า
High, low.
ง่ายนะครับปั๊บปั๊บ
Look for the opening.
ดูง่ายๆครั้งหนึ่งปั๊บปั๊บปั๊บ
Maybe you can throw both.
ปั๊บปั๊บเห็นไหมครับต่อยที่หน้าเขาเราก้าวหนีไปแล้วเราต่อยเขานะครับนี่สำหรับแบบที่หนึ่งอันที่สอง
All right, so that is the first counter.
เปลี่ยนข้างปั๊บเปลี่ยนข้างปั๊บเสร็จแล้วเราก็จะ
Now we're stepping out, chopping down, and throwing the cross, the left cross, because I've switched my lead here. Watch again. Chop down, throw the left.
เวลาต่อยซ้ายอยากดูหมัดขวาเขา
Watch out for the right again.
ตั้งไว้ซ้าย
Keep your shoulder up, your head in.
งั้นเราจะเสียเปรียบเขา
Be able to avoid that punch if it comes. I chop down, I throw the left,
ต่อยซ้ายเอียงออกเลยนะฮะ
bring my shoulder up to protect my cheek.
อันที่สามโยกตัวออกปั๊บเสร็จแล้วเข้าไป
Now I've stepped out.
ยาวๆปั๊บ
This is the third evasion.
ปั๊บ
Step out and then come in.
ปั๊บ
This is more of a timing counter. From either side, you can throw the punch.
ปั๊บเห็นไหมครับ
Move out of his reach and then counter.
ป้องกันแล้วก็ชกเขาตอบสำหรับ
So these are 3 techniques you can use against an opponent who has a good jab. 3 evasions and 3 counters.
ตอบเขานะครับสำหรับหมัดกับหมัดมีเท่านี้ครับโอเคครับตรงนี้ก็จะโชว์สำหรับ
If your opponent comes in with good hands, you can also counter with the elbow. As a matter of fact, it is sometimes a more effective technique. Watch as I demonstrate. Jab comes in, I catch it, I step in, overhead elbow. Watch again. Jab comes in, I elevate and then come down with the elbow. I hold that hand down, and I'm looking out for that right hand too. When using these elbow techniques in close, keep your chin tucked down so you're not exposed. I catch it, I step out, and in. Very effective technique. So I elevate and I come down. I'm on the toe of my back foot. Watch my footwork. Look for that right cross though when you come in. That's why the head's down. You've got to be quick because you're coming in close. Now here's a front elbow instead. I catch it and I come in even closer. Chin is still tucked. I turn my body into him. Bring your hips forward with these elbows. Drive through. So these are some elbow counters. Now we have another way to counter good hand techniques, and that's by using your kick. It's important that you move before you kick though. You can kick them to the leg, to the body, or to the neck, our 3 target zones. But don't stand still as the punch comes in. Evade it with your footwork, and then counter with your kick. It's important that you're not a sitting target. Be moving. You have to have good stamina for this. That's why conditioning is so important in Muay Thai. We expend a lot of energy, burn a lot of calories. It's a good workout, but you've got to be in good shape. Pick your target. Look for the opening for where you can kick him. I'm going to work with Walter once again. Punch comes in. Don't stand there. That's it. It's over. I lean out and I kick. I move my body to avoid. I might even check the punch with my hand, make sure I know where it is, and then I kick. He comes in, I kick.
นะถ้าเขาต่อยขวาแย้ก็ไว้ซ้าย
Check it. Punch comes in.
ครับปังถ้าเรายืน
Watch out for the other hand, though.
ฉะนั้นเราต้องหนีออกไปฮับฮับฮับนะฮะฮับฮับนะฮะ
Now, before you can do this, you've really got to work on your kicks. This is the advanced tape. Don't be frustrated if you're not able to perform these maneuvers right off the bat. Now, when he throws the punch, I'm looking for what he leaves open for me. Where's the opening?
ครับมวยหมัดเขาจะเดินมาหาเราตลอดเวลาฉะนั้น
So if someone's got good hands,
เมื่อเขาเดินมาหาเราแล้ว
you can counter with your hands, with your elbows, or kicking them to the leg, the body, the neck.
จะเตะที่คอฉะนั้นถ้าเราไม่
And how you counter depends on your skills.
ไม่มีกำลังพอ
If your elbow technique is good, use
เรา
it.
จะเป็นฝ่ายแพ้
If your kicking technique is good, use it.
เลยนะสูตรง่ายๆ
But to use any of these techniques, you've got to be in good shape.
จะต้องมี
The art of Muay Thai is a very difficult one to
มี
learn.
กำลังที่ดีมีไหวพริบพยานที่ดี ถึงจะเป็นผู้ชนะการถีบคือการถีบจะเป็นถีบตรง
The push kick is another option that you can
ปลาย
use
เท้า
if your opponent has a good jab.
ส้นเท้าแล้วแต่เราฉะนั้นไหวพริบปริยา
Depending on the opening that he leaves you,
นั่นแหละ
you can use
เก็บ
one of the
ทางให้
various
ดี
push kicks that we showed you already.
ถีบเท้า
Now make sure
เรามีหวัง
you keep your hands when you push kick. Don't drop them down. Keep your hands up.
มือขึ้น
You can drop the hand as you kick, but bring it right back up as you bring the foot back down. Watch for the counter. He might set you up the jab and then throw the cross if you drop your hands.
เราวิธีป้องกันอย่างไรนะฮะสำหรับ
But the push kick is good because it allows you to keep your distance
แน่นแล้วก็หมัด
if the opponent is throwing the jab.
โชว์สำหรับการถีบให้ดูนะครับ
Timing's important. As you see the jab coming, watch how I throw the kick. I lean out a little, out of his reach. I push kick low to the leg, a little higher to the stomach. Now when you work out with a partner, don't use the heel. That's a stronger one. None of this is full power. We're working on our techniques here. We're not sparring, we're not fighting. Now Walter's taller than me, but I'm still able to keep him off
เห็นไหมครับ
of me with my kicks because the legs are
เท้า
longer.
เราจะ
So the push kick is really good to keep your opponent's punches off you. Also,
เท้าเราไม่มีนวม
the hand has a glove on it, the foot doesn't, so the kicks are more powerful than a punch. The important thing is the timing. You've got to time your push kick to arrive as his punch is leaving.
เราจะเป็นฝ่ายชนะวันนี้ผมจะโชว์การ
And we can also use our knee techniques to counter
มีหมัดนั้น
if your opponent has good hands.
ถ้าเรายืนอยู่ใน
Now if he's using the hands and you want to use a knee,
นะฮะ
you're going to come in close. This works well against someone who has a long reach. You're taking away that advantage from him by stepping inside and then kneeing him.
แทงดักเลยนะฮะนะเขาต่อย
So you not only want to look at your opponent's skills, you want to look at their physical
เขา
attributes
ต่อยมาปั๊บปั๊บแทง
and
ดัก
see how you can
ปั๊บแทงดักเลยนะครับ
best use them to your advantage.
โชว์ตัวอย่างให้ดูนิดนึงนะครับสมมุติเขายัดมาวางเขาต่อย
Punch comes in, I check it.
ฝ่ายขวาปั้งนี่
Look for the cross.
หมัดเข้าจะโดนหน้า
I'm outside. Now
ฝัง
he can punch me here, full extension. He can get a lot of power into his punches because I'm away from him.
แทง
If I move in, it's another story. I catch it and I move in and knee him.
แทงนะฮะหรือ
And I grab him on the back of the neck instead of holding the head,
หรือ
and I use opposing pressure. I pull. Then I can really go to town if I get a hold of his neck with both hands.
แทงโค้งแทงตรงนะฮะ
I'm using all my knee techniques here. Straight knee, diagonal, curved.
ครั้งหนึงนะครับสโลว์นะครับแทงมืออย่าตกนะฮะปั๊บ
I come in and I bridge the distance.
แทง
That's the opening move. That's to get the first knee in.
แทง
Semi-knee kick also if you're a little farther away. Use that.
แทงต่อไปนี้ผม
Now you just saw me use some knee techniques in the clenching
นะฮะการจับคอตีเข่า
situations. I'd like to go more specifically into that at this point.
สำหรับ
If you get your opponent in a clinch, you can really work him good. Really inflict some damage because you're using your leverage, you're pulling down on him and pulling and kneeing him at the same time. It's important when you get in the clinch that you bring your elbows together. don't have them apart like this. Want them together. That will prevent him from countering straight up the middle at you. And you want to move him, twist him. Either way. Now, if he's resisting you, you can use his momentum to move him the way that he's leaning into, or move him the other way. Don't be predictable. Move out, and then move the leg back, and then knee up into him. As you move, you want to set up the knee. You're not just moving around to move him around. You want to move him and then knee him. Set him up. Watch how I do it. I clench, I'm on my toes. Not just because Walter's taller, it gives me more leverage. My elbows are together, I pull down, my back leg comes up, and I knee him. Again, controlling him just by pulling on his head. I can come up and high if he's protecting low. Pull down hard and then knee up. This really tires somebody out. I'm pulling him down far enough here where I can knee him in the head actually. I'm moving Walter not just to the left and right but also in and out. The idea here is to move him where he least expects it. We're now going to move on countering techniques for elbows. If your opponent comes in with good elbows, your countering techniques are more limited. You don't want to use hands, and you don't want to use knees. An elbow technique is an in-close technique, so hands don't put enough distance between you and the opponent. What you want to use are your kicks. That's going to push him away from you and not allow him to use his elbows. If he's coming in with his elbows, that must be one of his better skills. So to negate that, you want to push him away. Kick him off. Kick him in the arms, and he won't be able to use his elbows. But keep your hands up. Don't get elbowed. While you're evading him, don't let him get you. If you move straight back, his momentum will carry him into you. Be light on your feet and move out at an angle. That will allow you to counter with your legs and push him off. Now I'm using a variety of kicks here. Again, timing's important. Now Walter again is taller than me, so he's got the advantage of the reach with his elbow. I've really got to work hard to push him off my legs. But by repeatedly kicking him in the arms, you'll make their arms sore, and they'll lose the mobility in their arms. Keep your hands up. In this next section, we're going to deal with how you want to counter if your opponent has a good leg technique. If he kicks to the leg, to the body, or to the neck and head. In each instance, it's a little different. The first we'll deal with is if he's kicking to your leg. Footwork's important here. You want to be able to be light on your feet and move out and away, and use that to evade him. As the kick comes in, I just slide out. He's trying to kick my front leg, I just slide out. Now, if I need to cover more distance, I hop. It's a matter of judging and how big he is in his reach and how much he jumps in. I jump back much farther there. I had to get out of the way. I hop back and then come back in. I use the energy as I spring back to propel myself back in. Out and in. I want to counter. I just don't want to evade him. I want to evade and then counter. Move out, in and punch. Or move out, in and kick. Look for the opening. Out, in, kick him in the back of the legs. Or I block with my shin and then punch. This is different. Now I'm blocking. I'm not moving out.
ะนะฮะ
block, and kick with the same leg. Block and kick with the other leg.
ขาหนึ่ง
Block, kick him in the back.
แล้วผมจะตอบโต้นะฮะเขาเข้ามาเตะผมจะถีบเลย
I just push him off. I jam him. As I see the leg come up,
แล้วถีบที่ขาเขา
I jam his knee here. He can't bring the leg up any higher. I jam his hip.
ขาหนึ่งโดยขาหนึ่งนะครับ
You've got to be quicker than your opponent to do this.
ออก
Slide out, kick him to the body.
นะฮะ
Slide out, punch. Don't use the same technique over and over. Mix it up. Use different ones.
ขา
Don't let him predict what you're going to do next.
เตะขาเขาเตะลำตัวเรา
Now in that last section, I introduced the block. Let's talk in more detail about this.
บล็อกด้านนอกบล็อกด้านในแล้วก็
This is a sophisticated technique to develop.
บล็อกด้านนอกก็คือว่าเอาเข่าเอากระดูกให้ออกไปข้างนอกนะฮะกระดูกออกไปข้างนอก
You're going to block with the shin
เขาเรียก
bone.
ว่า bone to
Raise the
bone
leg,
ออกข้างนอกให้ได้
somewhat similar to kneeing, but don't use the muscle. Use the muscle, you're going to get hurt. You want to go bone to bone. Don't use the outside of the leg where the muscle is. You want to use the flat part of the shin bone. When you kick, you use the sharp edge, the leading edge of the bone. When you block, you use the flat part of the shin. Bring it up and block. Don't drop your hands. From either side. Now it takes some time to be able to do this. Your balance, coordination. Watch as I apply it. Now when you practice this, you want to go soft at first. I have two types of blocks I'm going to show you. Cross block. That's a cross block, cross my body. And that's an outside block. Now when you do these blocks, make your body tight on that side, your leg and also your shoulder, because when you block with your leg, he might try to kick over your leg and up to your arm. And if you're loose and soft, you can get knocked down. Be tight. You've got to absorb the impact. On the other side. You've really got to condition your shins on the bag before you start to develop this technique. And again, don't be predictable. Watch how the kick comes up and then use a different block. Cross block, outside block. Mix it up. Now if you can't block and the kick is coming higher to the body, you want to catch it. Catch it and turn. I catch it. I can lift up. Make sure you keep your hand up so he doesn't punch you. And I move him back. Again, I catch it. I keep my hand out. Or I can crank hard on it on the ankle. Once you catch, there's a variety of things to do. Now I catch and I turn out. Instead of pushing him back, I turn him around and I move away. I step out and crank hard on the leg. If you do this hard enough, you can break the ankle. Now there's another option when you catch the leg. You can lift up and push them back. Push them back and then follow in. I grab it, I lift up, I push him back, and then I follow in. Push him right into the ropes. Don't stop. Catch, lift up, push back. And that's if he can keep his balance. Sometimes he'll fall right down. Now after you've developed your blocking techniques and your catching skills, you can use them in more of a freelance way. And you'll do that by playing with your partner, going lightly, going back and forth, both of you taking turns trying to kick and block and mix it up. Block and bring it right back. And do this lightly. You're not trying to fight each other. You're working on your techniques and timing. We're just playing here, working on our leg techniques.
เข้ามาแล้วแทงเลยนะหรือว่าแทงอย่างนี้อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะครับจับแล้วแทงแล้วหักเข้ามาแทงแทงนะฮะนี่สำหรับมวยที่เขาแตะขา
So these are some things you can do if your opponent
เราป้องกันแล้ว
has good leg kicks or good body kicks.
ตอนนี้ผมจะโชว์สำหรับ
We're now going to move on to if your opponent tries to kick you in the neck.
ดูง่าย
Again, footwork's important here. If you don't move,
ๆ
you'll get kicked in the head.
ยืนตักอย่างนี้นะฮะเขาจะเตะคอฉะนั้นเราต้องโยกตัวออกมา
So we lean back, lean out of the
โยก
kick.
ตัวออกนะฮะโยกตัวออก
You see it coming, lean out. Keep your hands
เข้า
up,
ไปนะ
counter.
เขาจะเตะคอเรามุดจะตกนะครับ
Lean out,
นะฮะพยายามโยกตัวออก
and then come back in.
โยกตัวออก
Bend from the
แต่ยืน
waist.
อย่างนี้ก็เตะ
Don't come forward.
เข้าไป
Head back from the
นะ
waist.
โยกตัวออกเห็นไหมฮะเวลาโยกตัวออกนั้นมือจะตกย่อเข่าออกมา
I get on the ball of that back foot to support myself. Bring my weight back, and then spring forward if I see an opening to counter.
เราจะตอบโต้เขาอย่างไรนะฮะดูง่ายๆเราอาจจะ
Keep your hands up when they kick to the head, and then counter with those
แตะ
hands.
ขา
Come in quick if you
ตอบโต้
can.
ด้วยเข่าก็ได้ผมจะตอบโต้ด้วยเตะขานะฮะดูในเน็กครับแต่นั้นผมจะตอบโต้ด้วยเตะ
Kick to
ขา
the leg if you can. Look for the opening. You lean back
โต้ด้วยเตะขา
and come in with one of your
ตอบโต้ด้วย
tools.
เตะลำตัวนะฮะผมจะตอบโต้ด้วยเตะลำตัว
When you get to this point, you've got to really look for the openings and use techniques that you developed, your strengths. You can use the knee.
ตอบโต้ด้วยเข่า
It's a matter of being adaptive and seeing what openings are available to you.
เดี๋ยวผมจะตอบโต้ด้วยศอกนะฮะตอบโต้
Come in
ด้วย
with the
ศอก
elbow.
ครั้งหนึ่ง
You'd be closer after this. Remember the ranges we talked about for each of
ตอบ
these
โต้ด้วยหมัดนะฮะจะเป็นหมัด
skills.
ต่อยตรงต่อยฮุกต่อยอัปเปอร์คัตแล้วแต่เรานะ
If he's in close, use the hook and uppercut. Remember, if your opponent tries to kick you in the head and he misses, there's a good chance to be off balance, so it's a great time to counter. His momentum is going to turn him around, and he might even slip and fall on his own.
เห็นไหมครับ เมื่อเราหนีเขาได้แล้วเราป้องกันตัวได้แล้ว
So these are evasive and defensive techniques and countering techniques that you can employ if your opponent is trying to kick you to the
โอ
head.
เคครับต่อไปนี้
The next thing we're going to cover are techniques that you can use if your opponent catches your leg. We showed you how to catch the leg before, now I'm going to show you what to do if it happens to you.
เขาจับขาอย่างไรนะฮะผมจะโชว์
There are several
สี่ตัวอย่างให้ดู
different things that we do depending on your opponent's position after he catches your leg.
ดูดึงเท้ากลับอันที่สองก็คือ
You either want to pull him into you or push him away from you. You can turn your knee in
บีบหัวเข่าตัวเอง
and pull him in closer.
เขาจับขาเราแล้วพยายาม
Grab his head, slip your foot between his legs onto the cup, push out and pull in at the same time,
กดคอลงมาเข่ากระแทกที่หน้าอก
or you bring your knee to his chest.
ดูง่ายๆตัวอย่างง่ายๆนะฮะดูสโลว์ช้าๆนะครับช้าๆผมเตะ
I kick, Walter catches my leg.
ผมจะพยายามเอาออก
Try to kick him off. Don't let him hold on to the leg is the first I want to show you. He has my leg. I use my hamstring, my leg strength to kick him away. Don't let him have a good hold of it. The second is I'm going to turn my knee in and try to pull him in with my leg. Use my leg strength.
เตะแล้วเบนนะฮะเบนหัวเข่าตัวเองนะครับเบนอันที่สาม
Twisting my leg so he can't get a good hold of it again.
เอาข้อเท้าเรากลับมานะฮะกลับมา
I use my knee, now I slip it underneath. Come inside instead of going outside with my foot. And I pull down on the head simultaneously. He should lose his balance if I do this quick
ให้
enough.
เข่ากระแทกหน้าอกเขา
Or I can bring the knee to the chest. I slip the foot in again, bring the knee to the chest, and pull down on his head.
กดแล้วเข่ากระแทกหน้าอกเห็นไหมพร้อมกับข้อเท้าดันลงไป
Make him sorry that he grabbed your leg. Make him pay for it.
ช้าๆง่ายๆเริ่มต้นนะครับเตะครับก้าวดึงออก
Because you're vulnerable when he grabs your leg. You've got to be quick.
เบนหัวเข่าครับเบน
Just don't let him hold on to it. Do something. Bend the knee in,
อันที่สาม
kick him off, or slip your foot between his legs.
เห็นไหมฮะ
and pull him down, pull him off balance. You've got to react quickly to the situation.
เข่ากระแทกที่หน้าอกครับนะฮะกดคอเขาลง
Pull
มา
his chest into your knee.
กดคอเขาลงมานะฮะต่อไปนี้ผมก็จะโชว์ให้ดูว่า
The next thing we're going to cover here is if your opponent comes at you with push kicks.
พุชคิกเร็วๆนะฮะเราจะป้องกันอย่างไร
Again, footwork's the first thing we're going to work on.
ส่วนใหญ่เขาจะถีบหนึ่งที่ขา
He tries to push kick to your leg or your body.
ขาเราก่อน
You want to move out of his reach, move out of his range.
จะโชว์ให้ดูประมาณ4อย่างนะฮะอย่างแรก
Don't let him kick you.
เราต้อง
Move out.
ก้าวออก
Just slide back.
ก้าวนิดนึงอันที่สอง
No farther than necessary.
สไลด์แบ็กนะฮะอันที่สามเปลี่ยนข้าง
Or step out.
Move ออก
Or step to the
ดูง่าย
side.
นะฮะดูง่ายๆนะฮะตอนแรกผมจะก้าวออกธรรมดานะฮะก้าวออกธรรมดา
Slide my leg back.
ครับก้าวออก
Slide back.
มือไม่ตกนะครับ
Slide back.
มือไม่ตกห้ามมือตก
Keep your hands
ห้าม
up.
มือตกครับต่อย
Don't be
ต่อย
tight.
นะ
Be
ฮะ
ready to throw a punch. Slide out.
นะอันที่สองเปลี่ยนข้างนะครับครับ
Or step
เปลี่ยนข้าง
back.
ตัวเองนะครับครับเปลี่ยนข้างเห็นไหมฮะเปลี่ยนข้างอันที่สามผมสไลด์แบ็กครับ
Hop
เข้า
out.
มาใหม่
I gain more distance away from my opponent there.
ฮะ
Then come right back in.
ต่อไปผมจะออกด้านข้าง
Try to set yourself up
ผมจะออกด้านข้าง
off of the evasion.
ครับผมจะออก
Set yourself up so you can counter.
ครับโอเคนะครับตัวนี้ผมจะเอาทำให้เร็วที่สุดนะฮะนี่ติดแฟน
Try to fool your opponent.
ฮะ
Maybe he thinks you're going to slide, but you can step back and then come back with something.
นะฮะฮะ
Study your opponent.
เห็นไหมครับ การป้องกันทีนี้
So these are some of the techniques that you can employ to avoid your opponent's attempt to push kick you to the leg.
การบุกเขาตอบทำเขาตอบอาจจะเป็น
Now,
หมัด
after you avoid his kick to your leg, you want to
เรา
counter
จะเป็นเข่า
with the knee, the kick of your own, elbow, punch,
มือก่อนนะครับสำหรับหมัดก่อน
whatever is opening for
ก้าว
you.
ไปแล้วครับปุ๊บเลยนะฮะ
Hook punch, long hook is good to use.
ปุ๊บฮับหมัดขวาตรงครับโค้งเลยฮะอันที่สองก็คือศอกนะฮะครับศอกหนักเข้าไปเลย
Look for the opening
ศอกเข้าไปเลยนะฮะ
and use your weapon.
ครับศอกเข้าไปเลยอันที่สามคือเข่านะฮะเข่า
Now, if he really thinks he's going to be able to kick you and you move out, he should lose his balance a little bit and fall into your punch or kick, which will only make it all the more effective.
ครับเตะเห็นไหมฮะก้าวเราเตะเลยครับครับเตะครับเตะขา
Make him sorry that he tried to attack you.
เห็นไหมครับนี่คือการป้องกันสำหรับเขาถีบขาเรา
So
ป้องกันสำหรับ
that's how you handle if he's trying to push kick to your
เมื่อ
legs.
เขา
Now, if he's push kicking higher to the body,
เราจะทำอย่างไรแล้วเมื่อเขาต่อ
there are some
สู้
different
เราแล้ว
techniques that we'll
เราต้อง
employ.
ให้เราแพ้น็อกให้เราเจ็บเราจะหนีให้ได้ต่อจากนั้นเราต้องบุกเขาต่อ
Again, footwork's important. Don't be a sitting target.
ถ้าเขาถีบที่หน้า
Be light on your
ท้อง
feet.
เราถีบที่หน้าท้องเรา
He'll be kicking higher
กันอย่างนี้นะครับอันดับแรก
to try to kick you in the stomach and the body with a push kick.
ปัดเขาออกนะ
You can grab his leg, you can step out,
แล้วเราปัดเขา
just
ออก
push it aside.
เห็นไหมแล้วปัดเขาออกฮะตีด้วยข้อมือฮะตีด้วยข้อมือ
Turn your hand out
ครับ
and use the palm.
โดนนะครับครับนะไม้ตีเขาออกครับ
Push it
อัน
out.
ที่สองตีเข้าด้านในนะฮะตีเข้าด้านใน
Or turn it in and grab him.
นะฮะตีเข้าด้านใน
Now, I'm not holding it tight here. I'm just pushing it out and grabbing it,
ล็อกเขาอย่างนี้นะฮะยกขึ้นเฉยๆยกขึ้น
trying to make him lose his balance, make his momentum, knock him
ย
down,
กขึ้นสูงนะเขาถีบเรา
using his own energy against himself.
ง่ายๆครับ
Or I can hold it.
เราตีด้วยข้อมือเราจับ
Using the
จั
back
ข้
of
อมื
my
อยก
hand
ขึ้นหรือถ้าเราด้านในนะฮะเราตีเขาด้านในฮุกหรือเราฮุก
So I can go to either side,
ครั้งหนึ่งนะฮะ
in or out.
การตีครับนี่คือการตี
Out
ตีปัดออกนะฮะปัดออกอันที่สามต ตีเข้าด้านใน
or in.
เห็นไหมครับมือขวาต่อยได้เลย
And then I can punch. Counter. Grab it.
ครั้งหนึ่งด้านนอกครับเลือกจับด้านนอก
Be ready to counter. Move them back. From all of these defensive techniques, you want to set yourself up so that you're able to counter.
การป้องกันสำหรับเขา
And that's what I want to move on to next.
เมื่อป้องกันเขาแล้ว
When your opponent comes at you with a push kick to the
เรา
body,
ต้องบุกเขาตอบ
we're going to grab it, push it away, and then we're going to counter.
ดูนะผมจะปัดเขา
tries to kick, I grab it to the outside,
ข้างเขา
and I can kick out the other leg and knock him down.
ได้
Sweep him out. Or kick out both legs if I drop it.
นะฮะครับทำตัว
Or kick him to this other side.
ครับเตะขาหน้านะฮะเตะขาหน้าหรือผมจะยับเขา
Set yourself up.
มานะฮะยกขึ้นมา
Push him back into the ropes, then when he comes off,
หรือต่อไปอย่างนี้ฮะ
counter.
ปั้งปั้งปั้งปุ๊บ
Long hook,
นะฮะปั๊บก่อนลำตัว
punch to the body, punch to the head,
ดูง่ายๆแล้วศอกนะครับครับศอก
elbow.
ดูนะ
If your defensive technique is good enough, you will be able to set yourself up
นี่ลืมเข่า
for a counter that will make them very sorry for their attempted attack. Knee. Look for the openings.
เห็นไหมครับ
Know your skills, know your strengths.
ทั้งศอกทั้งหมัดทั้งเตะ
So these are some evasive techniques you can use
เขาพุชหมาเราที่ลำตัวเราแก้
if your opponent comes at you with the push kicks.
เมื่อเราเขาพลาดเราปัด
You can push him out, push him in,
เขาตอบเขาเลือกผิด
kick him. We're going to talk more, and I'm going to show you on how to counter the push kick with a push kick. And this is a drill, actually, that we do in my seminars and my classes. And we work in partners, going back and forth. Helps us both develop the push kick and counters to
ให้
it.
ดูว่า
We're now going to cover evasive and defensive techniques you can employ if your opponent tries to clinch and knee you.
ฉะนั้นเราจะป้องกันตั้งแต่
Now, the best thing to do is, as he comes in and tries to grab your head, you want to prevent him from doing that. If he can't grab your head, then he can't knee you as easily or as powerfully. You want to elevate on your toes.
ไม่ทั้งหมดนะฮะ
Don't let him compress you. As he comes in,
นับแรกเขาจะ
meet his arms.
ผมจะยืนจะปัดมือเข้า
comes in, tries to grab you, elevate and push his arms up.
นะครับนะเขาจะจับคอ
Meet him.
นะอันนี้คือ
Don't let him grab you.
เขาจับเขาว่าเรายืน
Be strong and tight, elevate from the feet, don't squat down.
ตัวเองยืนให้ปลายเท้า
Make yourself tall and tight and strong.
นะฮะเขาจับ
Block it.
ผมครับ
Elevate up.
อันที่สาม
That's the first thing you want to do.
ยกมือขึ้น
You see him coming in to grab your head,
ขึ้นมาข้างหน้าป้องกันเขา
you meet him with your arms, then bring your leg up. This is the second step. You can go between the legs.
ข่าวเขา
You block him, and before he can knee you, you knee him first.
ทำไปเลยนะฮะอันที่สาม
You've got to be quicker.
เราเบนหัวเข่าเรา
Or you can turn the knee over.
ครั้งหนึ่งดูนะฮะดูครั้งหนึ่ง
Instead of going between the legs, go to the stomach with your knee.
นะครับ
Be tight in the shoulders. Don't let him compress you.
ต่อไปผมจะหมุนตัวออกนะฮะ
Or move out. Just move out, and now I can kick him in the back. Just move out. Twist his arms.
ต่อไปนี้ถ้าเขาจับเราได้นะฮะเราจะทำอย่างไรเขาจับคอเราได้นะฮะดูนะเขาจะจับคอผม
Now, if he does grab your neck, you still want to be on your toes, elevate,
ถ้าไม่งั้นไม่ได้เขาจะตีเรา
be tight in the shoulders, grab his neck, pull it one way, and push the elbow up also to get yourself out. I'm going to pull his neck down, push the elbow up. See my hands? And slip my head out,
ตีเขาได้เลย
and then knee him.
ดูครั้งหนึงนะครับฮึบนะฮะ
Pull down on the neck, push up in the elbow, slide out and around.
ได้เลย
I can knee him in the back.
ไหมอันที่สาม
Stay on your toes when you get in a clinch. Elevate. Be tight in the shoulders. Now, I'm jamming him with my knee across his body so he can't move his legs into me. I'm keeping him away from me so he can't move in to knee me.
การป้องกัน
So those are some techniques that you can use if your opponent gets you in a clinch, but you can prevent him from kneeing you. Most of the fighters who have good knee technique need to get you in that clinch.
เราอาจจะ
Now there's other counters that we can do
นะดูง่ายๆคือจะ
either before the clinch or when you're in it, with the hands, the elbows.
ดูง่ายๆนะครับ
I'll show you those now.
นะผมปั๊บ
Prevent it
ทีนี้ผมแทงดักเลยนะ
and knee
แทงดักเลย
directly.
ฮึบ
Prevent it and
แทง
knee.
ดักเลย
Just meet his arms, be strong in your arms and shoulders, twist him out and kick him.
ฮึบ
Step out and kick. You see that his arms come up to grab your neck or your head. You want to move out. That's the most important thing. That's the first step to avoid getting kneed in a clinch.
ผมจะสอบ
Meet him an elbow, meet him an uppercut. He's coming in close, so you want to use your uppercut and hook punches,
นี่ผมจะสอบที่ลำตัว
or your elbows.
ผมจะสอบเข้าไปเลยนะฮะผมจะสอบเข้าไปเลย
As his arms come up, his ribs are
ด้าน
open.
นี้นะฮะถ้าเราเข้าไป
So go for the ribs or the stomach.
ฉะนั้นเราจะก้มหัวลงให้ต่ำนะฮะ
Go inside.
ให้ต่ำเห็นไหมครับ
Now we've covered a lot of material in these 4 tapes, and to work on it, you really need a partner to work with. But to really accelerate your development, if you can have access to authentic Muay Thai instruction with a real instructor, you'll learn quicker and faster and really become a more skilled fighter.
ผมก็จะแนะนำ
What I want to show you here are some combinations of everything: punches, elbows, knees, and kicks. Now this is just a starting point. It's important that you work on what I show you here, but it's more important that you develop your own combinations based on your strengths
นะครับผมทุกอย่างที่ผม
and
ลงไปในวันนี้
how strong your skills get as you acquire them.
เพียงตัวอย่างเท่านั้นไม่ใช่
Be creative.
ทั้งหมด
Don't be narrow-minded.
แต่เราสามารถหยิบ
There are many, many possibilities.
ได้นะครับ
These are just some of them.
ผมจะโชว์ประมาณสัก10
This is where we start to put it all together.
โอเคนะครับตัวอย่างแบบที่หนึ่งนะฮะ
Now the first thing I'm going to do for you
เราจะแยก
is a jab, right cross, left kick.
แล้วก็เตะซ้ายนะฮะครั้งหนึ่งก่อนเราจะฝึกให้หนักๆนะฮะเราต้องฝึกให้ร่างกาย
Again, don't be flat-footed.
หนึ่งสอง
You light on your
ดู
feet.
ว่าเราจะเตะได้ไหมก้าวปังนะฮะอีกครั้งหนึ่งช้าๆหนึ่งแยกให้มืออย่าตกนะฮะ
Jab,
ขวา
the cross,
เข้ามาซ้าย
and then the kick.
โอเคให้เร็วขึ้นนะครับ
Don't rush yourself. Set up for the kick. Jab, cross, kick. You use the punches to set up the kick. In Muay Thai, the kicks are your power. It's good if you can knock them out with a punch, but you want to kick them.
อันที่สองก็คือต่อยปัง
Jab, right cross, right kick.
นะฮะง่าย
You want to be able to kick with either side of your body after this combination. 1-2 left kick, 1-2 right kick.
มือจะตก
Remember how we kick? Launch off the back foot, turn the body,
ยืนขึ้นไปเท้าตัวเอง
bend the front knee a little, spring up.
หนึ่งสองตัด
Your kick should be good by now. I'm not going to go over the basics.
ปัง
We're working on combining all the elements so that you can spar and fight in the ring. 1-2, right kick. Jab cross, right kick.
Combination ที่สาม
Next,
ก็คือ
push
หนึ่ง
kick, round kick,
ทีบ
knee and elbow.
เตะ
Push the opponent off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee, and then throw the elbow.
ทีบเตะพอเตะแล้วกลับที่เดิม
This is good if your opponent's coming in, you want to get him off you with a push kick.
นะครับ
Push him off, round kick, bring the leg back, knee,
ก้าว
and then the elbow.
เห็นไหมครับช้าๆทีบ
Push him off, round kick, come in with the knee, and then the elbow.
โอเคครับ
Left push kick, right round kick, right knee, right elbow. Start slow with these combinations and then gradually build the speed and power. Give yourself time to learn them before you rush yourself through it. Next, we have the jab, round kick, and then we're going to clinch and knee him.
แล้วก็จับคอ
Come in close and then throw the knee.
ครั้งหนึ่งแยก
Jab, round
พ
kick,
ยายามจับเขา
clinch, and knee.
ถ้าโยกก็ตี
Move them with the clinch.
โอเคครับ
We use the jab to bridge the distance and then come in. Set things up with the jab. Jab, round kick, grab him and knee him. Move him with the clinch.
เตะขวา
Right kick, and then the hook. Double right kick.
เตะวับวับตับมาปุ๊บโอเคครับเตะปังปัง
If you kick him hard enough with the right twice, he should move to the left, and then he's going into your hook.
ปังปุ๊บ
Or he might try to move out and avoid your kick,
ศอกขึ้นมา
especially the second one.
ครั้งหนึ่งปังปัง
And then you have the hook.
เห็นไหมค
Come
รับ
through with the elbow on the hook. You might catch him with the elbow.
โอ้
Kick, kick, hook. Kick, kick, hook. Vary your timing and your beat and rhythm. Don't always be bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, beat, hook.
แล้วการมวยต่อยขวาให้หลอกต่อยขวา
Next, it's
ต่อย
right hand, left hook.
ซ้ายทุกซ้ายแล้ว
Clinch him, knee, push him away from you, and then kick him.
อีกครั้งหนึ่งนะ
After the clinch, you want to push the opponent out. After you're done kneeing him and cranking him around, push him away from you and finish him with a kick.
นะครับนะต่อยปังปังตับ
Clinch, knee, maybe 2 knees, push him out and kick him.
นะครับยืนรอ
Clinch, knee, push him out, and kick.
ปังเลยนะครับปังปัง
Set him up with the punches, come in, clinch, knee,
เฮ้ยพัก
push him away from you, and kick him.
เฮ้ย
Now I'm doing it a little faster for you. All these combinations, start slowly, acquire the skills, and move on.
บังเลยฮะ
Block with the shin, replace the leg,
เตะขึ้นเลย
kick,
เตะขึ้นแล้วก็
and then push him off.
แล้วก็เตะซ้ายมาแล้วก็บังปั๊บ
This is fairly difficult, blocking and kicking with the same leg. You've got to reload, you've got to replace your leg so you can kick afterwards. Block,
เตะ
kick, and then push him away.
แล้วก็เตะซ้าย
Either side, block,
ผมเตะต่อ
kick,
แล้วก็ถีบ
push kick. All three with the same leg.
เร็วขึ้นนะครับปัง
Block, kick, push kick. Block, kick, push kick. I'm moving Walter pretty good here. It's fairly difficult to perform all three with one leg. You're going to block with the shin, kick, knee the other side, and then the elbow.
ครั้งหนึ่งแล้วเตะบัง
Left block,
บังเตะเปี้ยงเตะเปี้ยง
kick,
แทงปุ้งแทง
knee,
ศอก
elbow.
ครับมือช้านะครับบัง
Block,
บัง
round kick, knee, elbow.
นะครับมือช้าบัง
Block, round kick, knee, and then the elbow.
โอเคครับเร็วขึ้นนะครับ
Left block, left round kick, right knee, right elbow. Left block, left kick, right knee, right elbow.
เราอยู่อย่างนี้ถ้าเราหนีไม่ได้เราบล็อกไม่ได้แล้วผมจะจับ
Catch the leg here, punch him while you're holding the leg,
เขาเลยพอต่อยขวาเสร็จผมจะกลับมา
and then kick him.
ต่ออยู่ครั้งนะครับปั๊บปั๊บ
Catch and hold, and then kick.
ที่ดูทำอย่างนี้นะฮะพอเตะปั๊บล็อกเลยล็อกต่อยขวาก็เตะต่อเห็นครับดูง่ายๆนะฮะช้าปั๊บ
Catch,
เห็นไหมครับ
punch, kick.
โอเคครับ
Catch him, punch, and then kick. Catch, punch, kick.
โอเคนะครับอันต่อไป
Next, we're going to catch his leg,
แล้วก็ดึง
pull him into us,
พอดึงเขาแล้วก็จะเตะขา
kick both thighs, and he should fall over.
แล้วก็เตะลำตัว
And then his head will be low, and you kick high.
ดึงปั๊บเตะขา
Kick low, and then high.
ปุ้งดูนะครับ
Watch how this works.
เตะ
Catch the leg,
จับนะครับผมจับว่าเตะปัง
kick low, kick high.
นะฮะ
Catch the leg,
จับผมเตะ
kick both legs low,
ผมเตะ
and kick high. When you kick both legs low, he might double over and bring his head down or his upper body down, and that's why you want to kick high. You're setting up that high kick with the low kick before it. That's the strategy we're employing here.
โอเคครับอันสุดท้ายนะฮะ
Now we're going to kick to the leg, kick to the body, kick to the neck. All three zones, one after the other. Low, body, neck. What this will do is your opponent may try to cover one of these spots. If you kick low, he may try to cover down there. Then you go to the body, you may try to cover the body, and it'll leave the head open. You're trying to create an opening for yourself.
ปังเตะลำตัวซ้ายซ้ายแล้วก็จะเตะซ้ายซ้ายที่คอนะครับดูนะครับง่าย
And the neck is the best place to kick, if you can.
ๆลำตัวคอนะฮะที่คอจะเร็วนะครับมันเร็วขึ้นนะ
Low to the leg, into the body, and then higher to the neck. Double leg, double body, double neck. This drill is great for two things. One, you're going to hone your skills, and two, you'll build your endurance. If you can do 3 rounds of this, you're ready for a fight.